falling to -2 tomorrow night, partly to mostly cloudy, some flurries and light snow showers, a low down to -6. Sunday, partly sunny, a risk of light snow at night and a high of 2. Monday, partly sunny and a high of 4. And looking ahead to Tuesday, partly sunny and a high of 0. Currently, downtown Regina, overcast sky. It is 8 degrees.
B&A Petroleum is a Southern Saskatchewan family-owned business that's there for you. They've been supporting their clients for over 30 years with locations in several communities throughout the southern part of the province. B&A Petroleum is available for all your bulk fuel and lubricant needs with propane at selected locations Monday to Friday. And don't forget, their Cardlock location is accessible 24 hours for your convenience. B&A Petroleum. Fuel you once, fuel you forever.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sportscage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Nelson Homes, supplying home packages and RTMs for over 65 years. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sportscage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Friday edition of the Sports Cage. Weekend is here. It's 3 o'clock, I know, but you could probably knock off a little bit early. Bosses won't care. If you are the boss, take the day off. Rest of the day. Oh, baby. It's for Nelson Homes, home packages and RTMs for over 65 years. Solo mission today, but I have guests, and I got Colson with me. As always, I'm going to lean on Colson a bunch today for different things. Western Pizza guest hotline will be a buzzin' today. Perfect pizza, generous amount of toppings, all the Greek favorites you love, like ribs, souvlaki, salad. A goodness you just can't make at home. It's Western Pizza. Farhan Lalji. TSN Football Insider. We always talk a little hockey with Farhan as well. He's going to be on at about 3:20. I want to get his take on the flag football game tomorrow. Am I the only one hyped about this flag football game? Let's be honest. Everybody can tell me out there. You can let me know. And if you haven't heard about it, well, stay tuned. It's something else. And then I'm going to get Glenn Suter is going out to Cloverdale, British Columbia on the weekend to watch Nathan Rourke play flag football in a senior men's game. Let's not call it senior men's. Let's just call it men's. But he's going to go out. I want to know if Farhan knows about that. And then we're going to get an update from Glenn Suter next week on that. Wray Morrison, voice of the U of S Huskies, joins us from Halifax. HuskyFan.ca. Talk about a gut punch yesterday for the U of S men's hockey team. You go all the way to Halifax. If you don't know where that is, it's near the Atlantic Ocean. And you played one game, and now you're done. Wray Morrison will join us in hour 1. Hour 2, Off the Rails Friday with our NHL insider, Eric Francis. I think Eric will be at home today, maybe having a rum. So we'll talk a number of things with Eric Francis. That's always a lot of fun. Clutch performer, sprinkle of the day. Dante Caria, voice of the Regina Pats, will join us. There's this possible tiebreaker situation in the WHL. It is an absolute calculus question. Buckle up when he explains it to us. Let's hope it doesn't get there if you're a Regina Pats fan. The Pats just need 1 point. 1 point. They play the Brandon Wheat Kings at home tonight. They travel into Manitoba to play the Wheat Kings tomorrow. They need 1 point. That's an overtime loss. We'll take whatever. Just 1 point. And the Moose Jaw Warriors, they need to sweep the Swift Current Broncos. Dante will break it all down for us. Keeping with the local hockey theme, if you're a hockey fan, and I know a lot of you out there, maybe you're going to watch the senior hockey in the area this weekend, because there's some great games that are going to go down. the AAA U18 male, also known as AAA midget, finals start tomorrow at C6, at the Sixer, the Cooperator Center Sixer, where the security guards are former Navy SEALs. They start tomorrow night. Game time is 8 p.m. Tickets, $10 in advance, $15 at the door. There might not be any available, FYI. It's the Moose Jaw Winmar Warriors, also known as the Moose Jaw AAA Warriors, and the Regina Pats Canadians, Game 1. You know what we're going to do? Because we are just local here, and that's what we do. And I know you don't. Do you really care if we bring on someone to talk about something in the States? No. Let's bring on the play-by-play voice of the Regina Pats Canadians and the play-by-play voice of the Moose Jaw AAA Warriors at the same time. That's what we'll do in hour 3. It'll be J.D. Haughton and Ardenn Lloyd joining us on the show. We're also going to hear from Saskatchewan resident Brandon Birnie about his hockey career. Dave Thomas sat down with him. That'll be in hour 3. So there it is. Boom. Busy day into the weekend. 6 o'clock. I'll need a tequila. There'll be a lot of talking. I want you to participate. I want all the regulars today to participate. There might even be, if you want to call in, Colson's sitting over there. He is ready to take calls. If you want to, what do you got on your mind? It's busy hockey time. It's very busy hockey. Are you excited about this flag football round robin tomorrow? Colson, have I got you excited about it at least? Can you let me give it to me straight? Because I don't know if I think a lot of people didn't know that this was even happening, and Farhan Lalji didn't know, even though we're going to talk to him in a bit. Because when I texted him this morning and I said, obviously we're going to talk about the flag football games tomorrow, and he goes, flag football games tomorrow, and then I'm like, yeah, buddy, look it up, Fanatics flag football series.
Excited might not be the word, but I'm definitely intrigued because I want to see who blows up. Like, do the NFL guys? Yeah. Do the NFL guys just get embarrassed by the national team? Is it like a close game where, okay, maybe they can actually be competitive, but then we find out after it's, because somebody said, no, you can't embarrass them. That's not allowed. Like, I'm here for the drama of this. Like, this is my reality TV right now.
I was talking to someone last night, and they're like, I was listening to The Cage, and you were talking about that flag football thing, and at first I thought it was a joke. I'm like, no, it's for reals.
To a degree, we wish it was.
It's a joke, Derek but for reals. Do you have the roster still from yesterday for some people that yes. have it? We don't really need to go through Team USA. It's a Team USA flag football team that's assembled right now that would compete in the Challenge tournament. This isn't the team that's going to go to the Olympics because they're going to make a lot of different moves on that. Daryl Doucette, the third, not to be confused with the second, he's their quarterback. He's a pretty famous name when it comes to flag football. But it's the other two teams that are just so intriguing. Team Founders, which I don't really like the name, to be honest with you.
Slightly better than Wildcats, but
if you're watching the stream, I don't really like the jersey either. Come on. But get this. This is for real. This is happening tomorrow. Tom Brady, Jalen Hurts are your quarterbacks. Ashton Genty, Alvin Kamara, Rob Gronkowski, Anton Winfield, Devontae Smith, Stephon Diggs, Von Miller, Damar Hamlin, Patrick Peterson. Those are football players. Terrence Crawford, what is he, a boxer? He's in there as well. So that's like a team. They're actually playing. And then they're going to play against Team Wildcats, which is another garbage name. But it's Jaden Daniels, Joe Burrow, Saquon Barkley, Kyle Juszczyk, Odell Beckham Jr., Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, Derwin James, Luke Kuechly, Jalen Ramsey, and then the celebrities are Logan Paul, which would be awesome if someone runs him across the middle. And I Show Speed. Is he an influencer? What is he?
He's a YouTuber. Influencer, yeah.
I Show Speed.
Yeah.
It's his name. Okay, regardless. You know what? I haven't looked up the time. We should maybe look up the time that it starts.
Well,
because they're playing the modified USA rules.
Yeah.
Or Olympic rules, sorry.
It says on the bottom 4 p.m. Eastern. is when it starts.
2 p.m. here.
Yeah, but if it's a round robin, that would just be the first game.
It'll happen quick, though. Like flag games are so boom, in and out, we're going. Jeffrey on the YouTube chat, and I was waiting for somebody to text this in, because the other word, and we'll talk to Farhan about it in a bit here. Actually, we're going to go to break. Jeffrey's got a question that I think a lot of you have about the news that Nathan Rourke is going to play flag football this weekend out in Vancouver. He's going to test it. You got to learn the game because it's totally different, but he can throw a football fairly well.
He's pretty good at it.
So Jeffrey's got a question. We'll ask that. We'll go to break. When we come back, we'll talk more about that with Farhan and Lalji. I want you to participate. Prairie Land Rentals, 600 Albert Street, where you get to deal with the owner. The text line is 936-6262. There we go. A lot of the regulars are coming in. Benny's in. Roscoe's in. Jeffrey's in. Travis, where are you at? Danny, Dino, Curtis, all you guys. Come at us here. It's the Sports Cage. We'll be right back.
Listen weekdays at noon for Sask Today on CKRM with your host, Ryan Young, offering the most extensive agricultural news coverage with precision weather meteorologists in an industry that moves fast. Stay updated with the latest, most reliable information in ag news, crisis and trends, all in one place. Available anytime at saskagtoday.com. Sask Ag Today, your trusted source for all things agriculture. Sponsored by Affinity Credit Union on 620 CKRM. 620 CKRM on location.
Back here in Assiniboia, it's the Assiniboia Spring Fever Lotto. I'm Cody Glyden. Now, just before 3 o'clock, we were talking about that 50-50 and how close we were to reaching $50,000 take home. Well, we've done it. We are now over $50,000 take home in that 50-50. 85 chances to win. The very early buyer prizes will be drawn for this weekend. The $150,000 will be drawn for in May. And I know a lot of parents now are starting to wind down hockey season. You know how much it costs to put kids in hockey. You've got those travel costs. You've got those equipment costs. You've got the accommodation costs. And what are parents doing now? Well, they're getting the kids ready for baseball season and football season. It's never ending, and that $150,000 would really, really come in handy right about now. I know, I get it. You can call us toll-free at 1-888-289-3276, or you can buy your ticket online at springfeverlotto.com.
The auction calendar is stacked at Ritchie Brothers, and an exciting Regina Unreserved auction is happening March 24th. Visit the Ritchie Brothers website or Regina location to view a wide variety of used equipment from top brand manufacturers. You won't want to miss this great opportunity. Head to rbauction.com/Regina to sign up and be ready for the auction. Again, that's rbauction.com/Regina.
10, that's 12-5.
You cut the grass, we'll cut the deal at Brent Agriculture. Get 0% financing for 84 months, plus cash rebates and bonuses on select John Deere turf equipment. Save on compact utility tractors, riding lawnmowers, and utility vehicles. Get it from people who get it. Offer ends April 30th, 2026. Some restrictions may apply. See dealer for details.
Did you know over 1.3 million homeowners call on Reliance for their water heater needs? With over 150,000 five-star online reviews and over 60 years experience, you could say Reliance Heath are water heater experts. Switch to Reliance Heath today. They'll give you $200 for all your hot water needs.
Call on Reliance.
Visit waterheaterrentals.com for details. Terms and conditions apply.
Since 1949, Nelson Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nelson Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality. In the Fort Capella area, call Calvin at 99 Builders or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
It's time to get the inside story. TSN's Farhan Lalji on Sportscage is brought to you by the Cooperators. Time to get financially fit? Cooperators can build a plan that works for you. Cooperators, investing in your future together.
There he is, joining us from out there in, around British Columbia in that Washington area. I don't know exactly where he is. He's never sent me a pin drop thing, but he's out there. TSN's Farhan Lalji. When you look out your window right now, what do you see?
I see sun. It actually, we've had some rain earlier this week, but it's cleared now. It's actually beautiful. It's going to be like 15 degrees today. It's going to be awesome.
See, we're temperature-wise, we're the same. But is there kind of hills and mountains and lush vegetation?
Oh yeah. There is that. There's no flatlands or wheat fields. There's there's mountains nearby. There's snow-capped mountains. There's all sorts of good stuff.
Well, see, everything's melting here. So if you squint, we have there's garbage piling up in the ditches and beds and old Christmas trees and couches and love seats. It's different. It's all, hey, we're all proud to be Canadian. All right.
It's all right here, buddy. This is what matters. How you feeling in there?
Yeah. Well, let's not go there. That's for my therapist. I texted you this morning and said, "Oh, we got to talk about the flag football games tomorrow." And you were like, "What flag football games?" I have a hard time believing that you didn't know this was going down tomorrow.
Well, truthfully, I did know it was going down, but when you said flag football, I automatically turned to Nathan Rourke and his sojourn into the men's flag football out here in the Lower Mainland. I'm like, you're not actually expecting me to go watch Nate play flag football, are you? And then Colson just told me that Suits is going to go do it. Suits used to play in that league, as did I. So, I don't know what that says about Nathan's, what he's going to be dealing with there. So, actually, sorry, let me take that back. I played in the touch league. Yeah. Nathan's playing in the flag league.
Yeah, well, I played against Dominguez and Lance Frazier, and Wes Cates has some good stories. But that was the men's touch league as well, and then the flag league is really taken off. But this game, let's start in Los Angeles. I am so intrigued. I can't tell you, because in the back of a lot of the NFL players, current and former, they're thinking, I would like to make a run at this. I would like to see if I could play in the Olympics. There is no doubt about it. Whereas Team USA, and we've been around flag football, I think Team USA could absolutely smash these guys.
I think they could too, because those guys know what it's like to play flag football. Now, that doesn't mean I think that version of Team USA should be the team that represents the United States in the Olympics, because the only reason it's in the Olympics is because of the NFL and their desire to get involved and brand their athletes. So those are the players that should be playing. I get that the flag football folks think that, well, we're the trailblazers, we're the ones that set this up. Nonsense. This is NFL marketing, right? So, but as far as the game tomorrow, look, it depends on the guys, right? I mean, Tom Brady at 48, you bet he's going to want to win, right? He's going to want to prove to anybody out there, whether it's Jaden Daniels or Joe Burrow on the other team, or whether it's Jalen Hurts, or whether it's Hoosh, I think that's the name of the quarterback for the U.S. men's national team, that he's still the GOAT, right? I saw some video of him today on NFL.com, and he can still pick defenses apart. So I think that'll be there. But then, there are some players that are just kind of doing this for fun. Gronk's only going to take it semi-seriously. You got players like Von Miller, a defensive lineman, who's going to be playing in this. That's not going to be part of what flag football looks like at the Olympics. So, can OBJ still play? We'll see. Saquon Barkley's in it. There's a bunch of names that are worth watching, but there's also enough of the older guys on these teams that make you think they'll take it a little less seriously. But that national team's going to be all in.
We've all been that uncle, that dad, that whatever. You're out at the family reunion potluck, or you're out at the cabin on the beach, and someone fires up a beach flag / touch football game. Well, I'm going to go have some fun. You want to get out there and you want to win, and I want to play. And you know what? I want my nephew running a double out on my son and basically pantsing him. I want that. So I have a hard time believing that the only time I think they could be like, take it easy, is when they know they're beat, and it's like, well, I can't compete in this. If there's maybe one or two guys that you're really intrigued. For me, obviously, it's Tom Brady. I'm really curious to see that. I'm curious how they're going to work the quarterback. If they're going to go two quarterbacks, are they going to do anything there? And I'm really curious on how they use Gronk, because he is a massive body. And if you get anywhere down in the goal line, I don't know what the USA's tallest guy is, and he's going to be athletic, but Gronk's a massive body. I'm very curious about those three things, Farhan.
Yeah, I think it's fair. The one that intrigues me, you mentioned the two quarterback thing, and I'm curious because when I look at NFL rosters, the guy that I think is the most obvious flag football player for Team USA at the Olympics is Jaden Daniels. So whether you have him at receiver and you run him, as a double pass guy, or he's just scrambling around in the backfield to get the ball out, that's kind of the guy I want to see. And yes, there's the Brady factor, but Brady's not trying to play for the USA in the Olympics. And, when he gets down to the goal line, I'm sure he's still going to have some chemistry with Gronk. It hasn't been that long since those guys played, so they're still going to have that. And you are right. As long as the games are close, I think it stays competitive. If all of a sudden, whether it's on a specific play or on a specific, if one team gets behind, to your point, then, maybe one team will start having a bit more fun for psychological preservation reasons. But I think the one player for me truly is Jaden Daniels, because he could actually be a guy that plays for this team at the Olympics. I mean, does Devontae Adams want to do that? At this stage of his career? Maybe. I don't know. OBJ at this stage, didn't play last year. I don't know. So, but Daniels is the one that intrigues me.
Curtis on the text line says Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite. You better believe it.
I'm into all the competitive stuff till the running gets involved, right?
Yeah.
If I'm playing quarterback and I throw a pick, I'm not chasing that guy down. You can score. It's okay.
I found out last year when I played, it's just that instinct of trying to beat the rusher, and I blew my groin. And I was like, well, that was quick. That was one and done. So no, so you want those competitive juices. I get that from coaching it now, from coaching flag and playing competitive golf where there's money on the line. Other than that, it's like Achilles, groin, hamstring. It just goes on and on and on and on. And the games, the other thing too, that people, it's going to be really good because people don't really get the game. And I've talked about it a lot on here just because I love it. I'm just entrenched in it. But people are going to really get an idea of how quick a flag football game is and how small the field is, Farhan.
Yeah, you're right. It is tight. So you've got to be able to put balls into windows, but it is 5-on-5, right? So you've got to, you've got to be able to also push the ball down the field. You'll see a lot of, third and long, and you can just get a touchdown and get the whole thing back on one play. So there is part of that, but these guys have to. There is nuance to this game, right? They even have different terms and different moves that they use in flag, to drop and flip your hips so that you can avoid a flag, as opposed to how you avoid a tackle in actual padded football. So it is different, and that's why I think those guys that are on the national team have every opportunity to have a lot of success in this event tomorrow. And again, I don't think they should be representing the U.S. at the Olympics, because that's not what it's about. But I think they can have some fun, and I think those guys more than anything are going to want to make a point.
Okay, so this Nathan Rourke thing, what do you know about it? Because you're kind of friends, or you know Nathan.
Yeah, look, I think more than anything, this is just Nathan trying to prepare. Look, Nathan, this past year, has learned to take himself a lot less seriously than the Nathan Rourke we had a year ago and the Nathan Rourke we had before he went to the NFL. But, at the same time, he does want to prepare. He wants to play for Canada at the Olympics. He wants to do well. And I know that he believes that if this can help him get used to the smaller field, to your point, and, the rules of the game, I think it's a good thing, right? And I get people telling me that, oh, you're going to worry about injury. No, you don't. Not if you're a quarterback, right? Like if you're a receiver or a DB and you're playing in this game, absolutely. If I was an NFL team or a CFL team, I'd be worried about that player getting hurt. But as a quarterback, I don't see that happening. So if he's going to go out there and have some fun, great. If he was in another position, guys would definitely try to measure themselves against him. But he's got, Dallas Dixon's a local receiver here who played at Simon Fraser and went to a few NFL camps. So he's kind of put the team together, and they've got some pretty decent players around him. So it's not going to be chopped liver, but I don't think he's going to get hurt. And I truly think he wants to prepare.
There'll be so many people with cameras out there. Watch the social media channels that afternoon.
If you intercept Nathan Rourke, someone's posting that. You know that.
You might get interviewed. We might have to. We might need a contact. We might interview them on Monday, Tuesday here on the Sports Cage. Suits will button it all up for it. I think there's going to be a lot of this from guys. From CFL players or guys that want to make a run at this. And Paul LaPolice is going to say, okay, well, you ever played flag? Like, we need you to play some flag football. Here's the contact for a team in the Mississauga area, the Montreal area, the Regina area, whatever. We need you to go out there and maybe see if you can play. The injury thing, I'm of the point, as soon as you start going there, then you're never going to get out of that hole. It's sports. It's life. You could get injured.
Yeah, look, I'm going to disagree. Look, if I'm a CFL team and I'm paying this player and I've invested in this player and we need him, we've built a team and a roster around him, I'm not looking for that chance, right? You can sit there and, like, if you want to be a CFL player and you want to practice, like, you can still get into a setting with your own teammates and just run plays and learn techniques and make it a little less competitive, but you're playing against, better football players. There are ways to prepare and there are ways to learn, right? And if Lapo wants to have a mini camp and have it, small field size, and you can assure teams that you're not going to go 5-on-5 in a scrimmage setting and we're going to have it totally controlled, then Football Canada can put that together. But I'm not looking for guys to get hurt doing this. It's why guys have in their contracts that you can't snowmobile and that you can't cliff dive and you can't do all of this kind of stuff. They have this in professional contracts for athletes. So I don't know why this should be any different. Again, quarterback's different because they're not running around. They're not going to get hit. They don't have to contest the ball. But for the receivers and DBs, if I was Jeremy O'Day, I'd be saying, heck no. And you know who's going to try to get him in? It's going to be Len Antonini. I know my guy Len, because he's probably running Regina Minor football, and he's trying to put flag football things together. If I was Jeremy O'Day or Corey Mace, I'd be calling Len and say, stop now.
It'd be more Mike Thomas. He's the flag football guy. But yeah, Len's got his hands all over football in Regina as well. And that's why in Suits' contract, they had no... that's why he had to teach scuba diving in the Cayman Islands. He had to do something that was safe back then. I really think you can get hurt doing whatever. You could get hurt running with your buddies 5-on-5 or whatever. So we'll agree to disagree there and just hope no one gets hurt. It's athletics. You're running on turf. You never know what can happen. What else? Was there a trade in the NFL today?
Yeah, Sidney Brown got traded from Philadelphia to the Falcons, right? So that's one of note. Obviously, he's a Canadian, grew up, I believe, in Mississauga, but in Ontario, and he and his brother, we know Chase Brown's a running back in the NFL, and Sidney, who probably had the more accomplished collegiate career, right? He was the higher draft pick, and early in his career, he had an injury and it caused him to miss half a season, and then by the time he got back in, and you looked at how the Eagles were kind of looking at their roster a year ago, it felt like they were kind of working past him. So for him to get a new opportunity in Atlanta with an opportunity to start, I think Sidney Brown's a really good football player, and I think he'll make the most of it. But you kind of get one opportunity in a lot of franchises, and he had his one, and they decided to get some value out of it instead.
When over under 2 years that we're at 18 games for the NFL?
I think they're trying real hard to get it like by 2027, right? And some interesting news today. I saw Mike Florio talking about this on Pro Football Talk, but J.C. Treader, who's now the new head of the NFL Players Association, they're having the conversations with the NFL, and I think that there's a real possibility that that this could happen by next season, that you get to 18 games. But the interesting twist on it is to get this to pass, there was a suggestion that maybe you max every player's cap at 17 games. So even though you've got an 18-game schedule, only and again, it may not happen this way. They just may open it up altogether, but I think it's inevitable we're going to get there. And they're talking about 16 international games within all of that. Maybe we'll get one back in Canada at some point. I don't know, and I don't know that it really matters. But they do definitely want to get this game global at all parts. So, to have every team take part in at least one international global game, I think is something they want to do. But when you look at it, and they've gone to the CFL, teams have gone to the CFL previously. When they first expanded above 16 games, they've gone to CFL teams, and they've talked about how they manage a season and how the players get managed. And this could lead to 2 bye weeks. And as a result, the Super Bowl in Atlanta in 2028, they don't even have a date set for it yet, because they don't know when the Super Bowl is actually going to get played, because 18 games and 2 bye weeks and the impact that'll have on the schedule.
Very interesting. In closing, have you watched much of March Madness?
I have, yeah. The upset yesterday, High Point knocking off North Carolina. North Carolina with all those turnovers at the end, just brutal. And what was the other one? Kentucky and Santa Clara, right? Interesting one there, because Santa Clara scores. They hit a 3-pointer with, I want to say, 4 seconds left. And when they give the ball to the inbounds, before the ball gets inbounded, the Santa Clara coach is trying to call timeout to set up defensively. They don't give him the timeout. Kentucky comes back and hits a buzzer beater and winds up winning the game in overtime. So they pull it out. Duke almost loses. They pull it out. North Carolina can't pull it out. So there's been some interesting games in March Madness. My daughter, who is totally into women's basketball, has got me watching women's basketball. So I watched Washington play this morning against, I think it was against St. Louis. Gonzaga just got pummeled. So Idaho got pummeled. So some of the teams kind of in our region that we know kids that are playing on, we're having a chance to watch a bit of that as well on the women's side. But the women's side has fewer upsets.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's a little more chalk. On the women's side. I watched. I was with my boy last night, and we put it on before we watched my daughter play on a feed, and I'm like, "Ooh, this is a North Carolina," and then VCU's coming back. They're coming back, and then just that last 15 minutes of real time of theater and everything. He was glued to it. He played basketball in elementary school, and he was just like, no, we got to keep it here. Like, we got to see. And he's not sprinkled on the game. Like, he's just like loving it, right? The theater of it all is pretty exciting. And I talked to a guy today, because he heard me talking about it yesterday. Being in a Las Vegas sports book, the first weekend of March Madness is something everyone should have on their bucket list if you're just a sports fan. Just watch people go cuckoo bananas out of places you've never heard of, like High Point. Like, what the heck is
VCU. Hey, did you see that student radio people? Like, they actually had a student radio broadcast for High Point, and these guys were unreal. You should look it up. They were like on every bucket, just the energy. These guys are going to make it big, but they got a lot of attention for that. And then VCU going 12 of 15 to close out that game. So a lot of good basketball. This is the weekend to watch, right? I mean, you don't need to watch the Final Four. You need to watch opening weekend.
Colson, you have that, don't you?
Yeah, I'm working on it right now.
Yeah, we'll play it later. It's and then I think it was the coach of High Point, and just
he shouted them all out.
Yeah, jeez, that's good stuff. All right, go enjoy your sunshine and your mountains and your lush vegetation, and we'll keep rolling here. If you need
you want me to turn the camera on? I can show it to you.
No. But if you need to use sofa or anything like that, there's a few on Ring Road here. Now that the snow is melted, I'll send you some pictures. Talk to you next week, Farhan.
Have a good weekend, guys.
See you later. Brought to you by the Cooperators. It's time to get financially fit. Cooperators can build a plan that works for you. Cooperators, invest in your future together. It's the Sports Cage. We are streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com.
620 CKRM on location.
Here in Assiniboia for the Assiniboia Spring Fever Lotto. That 50-50 is now over $50,000 take home. and growing. This weekend, the 30 very early buyer prizes will be drawn for at 2 o'clock. Nelson GM here in Assiniboia. So when you call in today, or you can buy online too at springfeverlotto.com, but you're going to be in for 85 draws. That's 85 chances to win $150,000 coming up in May. And it does happen. It's rare, but it does happen when someone wins more than once. In fact, it happened to Natalie last year in Raymore. She won the second prize. Her name went back into the draw drum. And guess what happened? They drew her name again. So that's what happens. You just might be lucky, like Natalie, and all of a sudden you're drawn 2, maybe even 3 times. SpringFeverLotto.com or 1-888-289-3276. 1-888-289-3276.
Winter in Saskatchewan tests everything, our patience, vehicles, and sometimes our bumpers. From icy parking lot dings to serious highway mishaps, choosing local matters. At Regina Motor Products Collision Center, we're Saskatchewan owned, run, and we drive these roads too. An SGI accredited full-service collision center working on all makes and models. Submit your SGI claim and book your appraisal. It's easy. When you need repairs you can trust, it's neighbors helping neighbors. Regina Motor Products Collision Center, south at Highways 1 and 6 Albert Street, rmpchevrolet.com.
The auction calendar is stacked at Ritchie Brothers, and an exciting Regina Unreserved auction is happening March 24th. Visit the Ritchie Brothers website or Regina location to view a wide variety of used equipment from top brand manufacturers. You won't want to miss this great opportunity. Head to rbauction.com/Regina to sign up and be ready for the auction. Again, that's rbauction.com/Regina.
10, that's 12-5. Sask Lotteries has over 50 years of winning behind us. And you know what that means? Lots of winning numbers. Numbers like over 1,200 organizations funded and 12,000 plus groups supported. $6 million given away annually in community grants. And the winningest number of all? $1.4 billion given back to the people of Saskatchewan through sport, culture, and recreation. And we're just getting started. Learn more at sasklotteries.ca.
Since 1949, Nelson Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nelson Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality. In the Fort Capella area, call Calvin at 99 Builders or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
This is Sportscage. Be part of the show. Call 936-6262 or toll free 1-866-767-0620. 620 CKRM.
Joining us on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline from HuskyFan.ca, Ray Morrison from out in Nova Scotia. Ray, not the Friday and the weekend I'm sure you had planned or the U of S Huskies had planned.
No, that's for sure. You know, this Husky team, with that undefeated playoff run, they went on, Barney, at 6-0, and then, just how good things looked with the goaltending of Nolan Meyer and the scoring of Connor Roulette. It was a little bit of a shocker last night to see the 8th-seeded St. Mary's team come in and do what they did. But St. Mary's credit, they came in, they played a physical game, probably the most physical game of the year that the Huskies have had to play, and went up 3-0, generated some chances. That's a good St. Mary's team. They have one player, too, Liam Arnsby, number 61, and he was a thorn in the side of a lot of the Huskies last night. He played a physical brand of hockey, but was also in on the offense too. Had quite a bit of ice time for St. Mary's, and yeah, the Dogs just when you got to dig out from 3-0 down, you don't always pull those out. The Huskies they did come close, but it's a different game if you don't spot the other team a field goal 35 minutes in hockey. It can work against you, and it did for you, Sask, last night.
Do you think? I don't want to call anyone out, but do you think the U of S Huskies were maybe ill prepared for what they were going to face? Was there enough tape? Was there enough time to figure out what St. Mary's was going to bring to them?
Well, I don't think it was a matter of preparation. I think it was just St. Mary's game plan and looking at the Huskies that, we're just going to play physical. We're just going to hit everything and see what we can do. And like I said, they didn't see that all year. So I'm not sure it was a lack of preparation so much so as St. Mary's really adjusting to what Saskatchewan likes to do, and that's, have big forwards but speedy centermen down the ice. And when you take that away, you're able to generate some chances. And that's what St. Mary's was able to do. By the way, they also have the number one goal scorer in U Sports, Ben Allison. If I'm not mistaken, he had something like 50 points in their 30 games in the regular season or something. So it's not like it was, they ran him out of the rink, but St. Mary's is also a talented team. And it's always interesting in these U Sports events, as we've talked about before, when they do these seedings as well. So, St. Mary's the host team, number 8, but when you get to these 8 teams, there's really not much that separates them.
It started in 2015, Ray, this new format where it's a single elimination competition now. There's no pool play. There's no round robin. There's nothing. So now you and the Huskies, I'm sure, have plane tickets booked next week. You're sitting there. They're done. It's a one-and-done format.
Yeah, I'm really lucky because I'm tied in with the Husky athletics staff that they actually do get me out tomorrow party. So I'm back home tomorrow at 3:00. So it is good. They know I got a granddaughter that's looking forward to Grandpa watching her play hockey at the Gemini. So I am going to hustle back. But yeah, no, it is interesting. The format. It's not something that I'll be totally honest with you. And I had this conversation with Pierre Arsenault, the U Sports CEO, before last night's game, because he's got a deep hockey background. Pierre actually spent some time with Hockey Saskatchewan, believe it or not. Huh. But even he said, and I was mentioning to him, I said, if we can get back to, sort of a round robin format with maybe 6 teams or something, that might make a little more sense. And you can wrap it up with these student athletes in the same amount of time. But there has been a move, for whatever reason, for representation. That's what they want. They want representation. I think one of the things is, when the OUA schools host, because that's where the base of the population is, sometimes they'll have 3 or maybe even 4 teams in the tournament since they've changed it. So, like the Memorial Cup, nobody's ever happy with that format either, it seems. Yeah. And this is one of those things. But yeah, you think about Mount Royal. So there's no more Canada West teams left in this year's event after day 1. And Mount Royal, they lost last year as well. So they flew all the way to Ottawa for one game, fly home. This year they fly all the way across the country to Halifax from Calgary. After one game, they fly home. Yeah. So I think there must be a better way, but I'm not totally sure that that's going to be something that U Sports talks about. And it's not just hockey. This year, in the Canada West basketball playoffs, Fraser Valley from BC and Mount Royal both flew to Saskatoon for one women's basketball game to see who would play the Huskies the next night in the playoffs. Yeah. So, I mean, you look at that. I mean, there's probably some tweaking at U Sports that can maybe be done in several sports, not just hockey.
Absolutely. You know what? I think about how great those tournaments were. Mind you, the Huskies were there when it was hosted at a packed Sask place back in the late 90s. I think that was fantastic. But hey, then people will say, well, the NCAA March Madness, it's one and done, and it's look where it is. So I don't know, Ray. It's you feel gutted for the team, the staff, everybody, but at the end of the day, it was the same format for everybody. And then maybe in closing, is there one? Is there even a close to a favorite for this thing now? Because the number one, Huskies are out. St. Mary's, Windsor beats Mount Royal. They shade them 4-3. Is there a front runner in this thing?
Well, now the number 2 seed New Brunswick is still in, and they win AUS after AUS championships. If I'm not mistaken, and I don't have Mr. Google in front of me right now, Marty, but I think they won the last 7 or 8 AUS, the Atlantic Championships. Wow! And now that the number 2 seed is gone, this might open the door for NB to come in. But it's funny. I watched a little bit of the UQTR game today, and they've got a big team up front. Huh? And I'm not even sure how that game ended up today. I do believe they beat Moncton. So
4-0. 4-0.
Yeah, and again, you're talking one game for the gold medal, right? So none of these teams came here to play for a silver medal. So you're still talking about elimination hockey. And as we found out last night, and Mount Royal found out yesterday afternoon, anything can happen in these one-game shots.
No doubt, Ray. Well, thanks for making time. Hopefully everything's on time tomorrow and you make it back to the Gemini and able to watch the granddaughter. But I appreciate you doing this, and travel safe.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Barney. We'll chat soon.
Voice of Husky Athletics, Ray Morrison, huskyfan.ca from Halifax, Nova Scotia. It's a Sports Cage, the home of local sports in Saskatchewan, 620 CKRM.
The Country Music Rewind with Colin Lovequist.
We are going to celebrate the Canada Farm Show with all the greatest country anthems dedicated to the dirt under our fingernails and the wide open prairies.
The Country Music Rewind with Colin Lovequist. Brought to you by Crawford's No Frills. Saturday afternoons at 4 and Sunday afternoons at 1 on Country's Greatest Hits. 620 CKRM. 620 CKRM on location.
Well, my final opportunity today to remind you about the Assiniboia Spring Fever Lotto. It's back for the 31st year. And, well, you know what? Everything has gotten so expensive nowadays. You go to the grocery store, and the grocery bill adds up pretty quickly. You want to go out to a restaurant and enjoy a nice meal, it adds up pretty quickly, too. You want to get a brand new vehicle or just some repairs on your existing vehicle, it all adds up quite a bit. So how would you like a $150,000 cash injection into your bank account? And that's what the Assiniboia Spring Fever Lotto is all about. This weekend, though, is the 30 very early buyer prizes. And then in April, on the 26th, it's the 3-day fishing trip, or $5,000 in cash. And then May 31st is the big draw for $150,000. Or your choice of that vehicle package. There's the airplane package. This is the lottery that gives away the airplane. There's also that New Holland Farm Pack, Case IH Farm Pack, or the John Deere Ranch Pack. Tickets, $100 each, 3 for $250. Ask about the Mega Pack and ask about the 50-50. SpringFeverLotto.com, 1-888-289-3276. 1-888-289-3276.
Don't miss the McDougall Auctioneers Unreserved Johnson Livestock Equipment Realignment Sale closing April 1st with viewing days March 26th, 27th, and 31st. Up for auction, 1999 John Deere 7710 FWA tractor, 2017 JD 9570R 4-wheel drive, 2020 Kloss Lexion 8700 combine, and more. The McDougall Auctioneers Unreserved Johnson Livestock Equipment Realignment Sale closing April 1st at 12 noon. Visit McDougallAuction.com for more information.
Are you overwhelmed by debt and getting nonstop calls from creditors? It can feel like there's no escape. Debt doesn't have to be a life sentence. A single call can turn things around. My name is Jasmine Brown. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO right here in Regina. I can help you become debt-free with a solution just for you. Let's put an end to those calls from creditors together. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
Stop scrolling through Pinterest and turn those someday home projects into right now reality. The Regina Spring Home Show is back March 27th through the 29th at the Bungie International Trade Center at Real District. Whether you're buying, building new, renovating, or planning a backyard oasis, we've got it all under one roof, including those outdoor adventures to begin planning your summer. Admission includes parking, and kids 12 and under are free. Grab your advance tickets online now and save. Spring into action and visit reginaspringhomeshow.com for details.
Sun's out, track's dry, I was born to drive. I am pure speed, brother.
I was born to merge eventually.
It doesn't matter if you're fast or fashionably late. You need the right tires this spring, and you can get them at Quality Tire. They've got the perfect new tires for wherever you're driving.
Safety is never in a hurry.
Quality Tire, trusted for the road ahead, with 9 locations across Saskatchewan.
QualityTire.ca. Hi, I'm Barb. I'm terrified of bees. But I'm not afraid of fast internet from Glassers TV, your SaskTel authorized dealer. Get away! With SaskTel's super fast speeds, I can stream, shop, and video chat without anything buzzing around, except my phone. And thanks to reliable Wi-Fi, even my smart doorbell warns me if a bee comes near. Technology 1, bees 0. So if you want fast, reliable internet without the sting, get connected. Contact Glassers TV, your SaskTel authorized dealer in Mooseman today.
Want to get a delicious 50% off? Like now? Skip to the good part and save up to $15 on orders of $30 or more in the Skip app. Use code NOW50 at checkout. Like now. Terms apply only on Skip.
This week at Real Canadian Superstore, get Cook's Ham for only $1.99 a pound. Plus, get it delivered with your first year of PC Express Pass at just $2.50 per month. Conditions apply. See flyer for details at superstore.ca/flyer.
It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Reliance Heath Water Heater Rentals. Switch to Reliance today and get $200 cash back with your new water heater. Some conditions apply. Call on Reliance.
Hockey in a second. City High School basketball finals. Girls, Laboldis versus Miller at the Luther Gymnasium, 7 p.m. What a game last night in the boys. Miller defeated Sheldon 71-70. Western Hockey League under the orange top. Regina Pats hosting the Brandon Wheat Kings, 7 p.m. Can be heard right here on CKRM 6:30 pregame show. The Pats need a point. Other Saskatchewan teams, Moose Jaw needing to win in Swift Current, 7 p.m. And the Prince Albert Raiders, they need a win. Try and clinch first at home to the Saskatoon Blades. SJHL playoffs starting. We'll be close to 2,000 in the Yorkton Arena tonight. Melville in town. Those two friendly towns battle. Melfort's at Battleford, Weyburn and Nipawin, Estevan up in the Flan. All game ones. Caria Anderson at the Women's World Curling Championships hammered Australia 11-2. They're now 9-2, taking on Japan tonight at 7 p.m. National Hockey League Canadian teams. Toronto welcomes Carolina. Flames host Florida. Sports Ticker is for Reliance. Switch to Reliance today. Get $200 cash back with your new water heater. Some conditions apply. Call on Reliance. Did you catch that, Colson? You're a basketball guy. How about that City Boys final? And just think about how the atmosphere in that Luther gym last night would have been. The final score, 71-70. Whew. Like 936-6262, Prairieland Rentals text line. If you were at that game or know anything about that game, it had to be edge of your seat, standing up, sweating. Oh man, that would have been exciting. Both teams go to Hoopla though, at least.
Yeah. Speaking of Hoopla, I know my brother and the Greenall Griffins, also Scott Schultz, Greenall Griffin guy, they're ranked 4th in 5A boys Hoopla, which I think is their highest ranking in a long time. And I think it's been 25 years since I think it was 25 years, he said, since they won the tournament. So they're hoping to make a push this year.
My brother and me. That's good. Okay, Prairieland Rentals text line for a sec here. We're going back, and I was getting people hyped up, and I'm intrigued. Colson's intrigued. I'll go with excited. I'll use the word excited for the flag football games tomorrow on Fox. I'm curious to see Tom Brady sling a ball again. What time does it start? 2 o'clock our time? I think it was 4 o'clock Eastern.
I think so.
So that'd be 1 o'clock Pacific. Yeah, that makes sense. Roscoe says he's more hyped, though, for women's curling. Dean texted in, I'm like Colson, not really excited about flag football, but intrigued. It's partly because I'm not really a big fan of flag football. I find it to be a different sport altogether. It doesn't use all the skills of tackle football. Not to say that it's not a real sport, and they're not good athletes in it, though. Just my thoughts. Dino and Regina. We called in all the regulars to text in today, and they all have. Kevin says, I'm looking forward to crushing a few pitchers tomorrow at the Sixer. Be a great game. You're talking about the AAA game? I'll be there, Kevin, for my daughter's game at 5, Game 2 of the U13 Female South Final. I'll be in there. It might be a tequila day, though. I've been kind of laying off the the Suds. Benny, always got to proofread Benny's text messages. Barney, I was today years old when I found out the Pat Canadians have a play-by-play caller. That's right, as do the Moose Jaw Warriors, and I'm going to talk to them both in hour 3 because we're going to tee up that AAA final series because that's what we do here on the home of local sports. It's going to be J.D. Haughton and Ardenn Lloyd joining me in hour 3. Pat Canadians, Moose Jaw, ooh, baby. James, another regular, that boy James. You got the assignment correct. Barney, Len Antonini, and me go way back. We took turns accepting the leading scorer trophy for years in an outdoor competitive winter shinny league. I mixed up with the Riders OC father several times. We just didn't get along. James.
James always has stories.
James, big shinny league guy. James, 936-6262 if you got anything that you want to say. Oh,
we have an allegedly.
Okay, and allegedly.
And this is coming through several people, so we're playing the telephone game. So somebody called in to the Ag phone line. Oh. So Ryan Young sends the message to Dave Thomas, who then forwards it on to us.
Here we go.
Apparently, there is a referee or two involved with this flag football classic that are from Saskatchewan.
Yep.
I am doing all the digging I can right now, but they have the specific details they've given, which is like the roster, when it starts, what they're playing on, etc. And there's no other details that I can find, and it is frustrating.
Mike Thomas was supposed to come on the show today. He's in Philadelphia watching March Madness right now live with eyeballs.
Fair enough.
He's boots on the ground at March Madness. But he did tell me today that there is a ref from Regina at this thing tomorrow. So that is true.
There we go.
Brandon, where you been? There's a regular. He's texting in on this Friday. Can't wait to see Brady sling it tomorrow and a fight break out between Gronk and Logan Paul. Go Gronk. Yeah. 936-6262, Prairie Rentals text line. Keep them coming. Thanks to everybody who's texted in so far. Oh, and one other note tonight. Senior hockey in Langenburg. Kenora, Langenburg. Series tied 1-1. Who stole the Kishka tonight out there in the Garlic Belt? Hour 2's coming up off the rails Friday with Eric Francis. We'll also have Clutch Performer, Sprinkle of the Day. Stay tuned. After the news, we're back with more Sportscage.
We are 620 CKRM Regina, a Harvard media station.
It's 4 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm Tanner Wallace-Scribner from the SaskToday.ca newsroom with 620 CKRM News for Bronco Plumbing and Heating. Where professional service is guaranteed, they'll treat you right. 781-2090. Regina's mayor is welcoming an increase in municipal funding in Saskatchewan's latest budget. Chad Baczynski says the city is pleased with an 8.5% boost to municipal revenue sharing, bringing the total to a record $392.4 million. He says the funding will help Regina address aging infrastructure and begin to catch up on long-standing needs. Baczynski adds the model allows municipalities flexibility in how the money is spent, but he says more support is still needed. He points to ongoing challenges like homelessness, saying investments in housing, mental health, and addictions remain critical. One man is in the hospital following a single-vehicle crash on Ring Road in Regina. Police say the collision happened around 6 p.m. around the Wascana Parkway. The driver and lone occupant lost control while traveling northbound. The vehicle left the roadway, went through a ditch, and struck a tree. Witnesses pulled the driver from the vehicle shortly before it caught fire. Emergency crews arrived and the man was taken to the hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. Police say the investigation is ongoing. The Canadian Taxpayers Federation is calling on the City of Regina to release details about gift card spending. The group requested financial records for 2025, but says the city does not track how much it spent on gift cards or prepaid cards. Officials said gathering that information could take more than 200 hours. The Federation argues this raises concerns about accountability and possible waste. The city says it does not run a formal gift card program, but has policies in place to guide proper use and distribution. Saskatchewan RCMP are highlighting the deadly impact of impaired driving as part of National Impaired Driving Prevention Week. Police say 33 people died in 2025 in collisions where drugs or alcohol were a factor. Officers responded to 31 fatal collisions linked to impairment, accounting for roughly one-third of all fatal collisions. Combined Traffic Services Saskatchewan says nearly 2,000 drivers were also removed from the road last year for driving under the influence. Police say enforcement will continue through check stops and patrols, and they're urging the public to report suspected impaired drivers by calling 911. Saskatchewan's health minister says the local headquarters of a cult that frustrated residents in a village remains closed after its leader was freed from charges. Jeremy Cockrell says the decommissioned school in Richmond that housed Romana Didelot and her followers of the so-called Kingdom of Canada is vacant.
The conditions in that building were not appropriate for anybody to be living in, and again, if that's the case anywhere else in the province, where there needs to be a public health investigation, certainly the SHA will do that.
Crown prosecutors stayed charges this week against Didelot, who calls herself the Queen of Canada. That's 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sasktoday.ca and 620CKRM.com.
When was the last time you cleaned your ducts? Because what's hiding in there, it's kind of gross. Dust, skin, and who knows what else floating around your home every day. A professional duct cleaning is good for your health and good for your home. So start fresh with duct cleaning from Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Cleaner air, better comfort. Call 781-2090 or visit broncoplumbing.com today. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. And Bryant, whatever it takes.
Brought to you by Next Gen Coatings. Spray coatings for truck bed liners, rocker panels, and more. Same company, new name. 1865 McCarra Street in Regina. Tonight, mostly cloudy, some spotty showers in the area, and a low down to 2. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy again, showers in the area. Falling to -2 tomorrow night, partly to mostly cloudy, some flurries and light snow showers, a low down to -6. Sunday, partly sunny, a risk of light snow at night, and a high of 2. Monday, partly sunny, and a high of 4. And looking ahead to Tuesday, partly sunny, and a high of 0. Currently, downtown Regina, overcast sky. It is 8 degrees.
For over 40 years, you've known them as Regina's trusted vehicle protection specialists. Now they're introducing the next gen of coatings. New name, new level of protection. They're now Next Gen Coatings. 3 generations of their family have served your family, and that hasn't changed. Same owners, same commitment, ready for the next gen of truck beds, rocker panels, trailers, bumpers, and running boards. The company hasn't changed, just the name. Next Gen Coatings. 1865 McCarra Street. The next gen starts now.
Sasktoday.ca is your local news source, proudly serving communities all across Saskatchewan. Sask Today's team of local journalists are on the ground focusing on local topics that matter to you. From agriculture, local community news, sports, and more. Find it all at sasktoday.ca. Sign up for our daily news digest at sasktoday.ca. From Harvard Media, everywhere.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sports Cage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Nelson Homes, supplying home packages and RTMs for over 65 years. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sports Cage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Heavy metal music means we're back. Hour 2 of the Sports Cage on this Friday, and it's always brought to you on Fridays by Nelson Homes, supplying home packages and RTMs for over 65 years. Eric Francis going to be with us in a bit. NHL Insider, we're going to sprinkle of the day, clutch performer. If anyone's got a sprinkle of the day from March Madness out there, and I know, Benny, I'm looking at you. I don't know if you're bellied up to the bar at Leo's right now, but I'm curious. Does anyone have a good March Madness sprinkle for today? Send it in, 936-6262. We'll also talk to Dante to Caria. You want to get a nosebleed and a headache? Wait till you hear Dante dissect the possibility of a tiebreaker in the WHL. It's something special. Tim And Raymond says, can't wait to see Tom Brady play tomorrow. That's right. Bert on the text line. Bert. Come on. I'm gonna say the joke, Bert, but then I think you should kill this joke. It should never be used again. Bert says, gentlemen, will anyone be checking the air pressure in the ball that Tom Brady will be throwing tomorrow? There it is. That's the last one, Bert. You could say the last time I used that joke was on the Sportscage. Travis, there you are. I was wondering when Travis was going to text in. The flag football referee from Regina, Scott Wolishin. I've heard of him. I might know him. See him. He's from Regina, but lives in Edmonton now. Maybe I saw him on Bourbon Street, West Ed Mall. Maybe on the roller coaster. Kevin. Shank, make sure franchise tells you the story he promised about the time he almost chucked him with Doug Wilson from Tuesday. Is Eric there? Okay, there we go. We'll start with that maybe. Kev, let's go talk to Eric Francis.
Now for Inside the NHL with Eric Francis on the Sportscage. Inside the NHL is brought to you by Sports Select. Getting in on more of the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer.
We lost a screen legend today at 86 years old, Chuck Norris. I didn't even talk about it in hour one. I saved it for today, and then I started thinking of my favorite Chuck Norris movies, and I didn't have one because I don't think the only one I remember watching was 1986, The Delta Force. I think we rented it from Family Video. Chuck Norris versus Doug Wilson. Who wins that one, Eric?
Come on. We all know the answer. When Chuck Norris's parents had nightmares, they would come into his room. That's Chuck. You know what? If nothing else, even though you're probably right, Chuck Norris was like, everyone in the world knows him, but no one could name one or two of his movies. But if you haven't been introduced before on this very sad day when he passed away, I mean, none of us thought he'd ever die. But, you know, the Chuck Norris jokes are legendary. And if you haven't tapped into them, if you haven't gone online, please do yourself a favor. I promise you, you will chuckle out loud at Chuck Norris makes onions cry. That sort of stuff. It just never ends. I was just looking at it.
I haven't looked up any today because I knew you and I were going to talk about it, and I wanted to laugh, and I am.
Oh, yeah. The flu gets a Chuck Norris shot every year. It's just amazing how legendary this man has been made by the internet and the people that just put him on this pedestal, which no one can understand how he really got there.
And they're all from that. They are. Okay, you have to tell the Doug Wilson story because we teed it up on Tuesday.
Oh yeah. So Calgary Flames are going to the Stanley Cup final in 2004, and along the way they had to play San Jose, I think, in the second round. And at the end of the one game, it got out of hand, so it was time to send. I think the Flames were getting whooped, and a brawl broke out 5-on-5. And Chris Simon, who's one of the toughest hombres I ever saw in my life, he's of Chuck Norris ilk. He grabbed Mike Rathje and just started absolutely dummying him. And Rathje's a big defenseman, could hold his own, but he grabs him, and then four other guys grab four other guys, and it's a full-on line brawl. You remember the fervor of the 04 run, so the crowd's going absolutely nuts. And because the Dome is so ill-equipped for, a big game, the GM is sitting about 6 seats over from me in the press box. And Doug Wilson stands up and throws his chair against the table, against the front of the press box, and is screaming down. And you could hardly hear him because the crowd was going so wild. But it was loud up in the press box. Everyone could hear what he was like. not what he was saying, but that he was screaming and he threw his chair. And for some reason, I've always kind of seen myself as the big protector of the press box. Like, you cheer in the press box.
The Chuck Norris of the press box.
I'm the Chuck Norris of the press box. You will feel my wrath. Like, and nowadays there's so many homers in the league, in every building. Like, almost every goal is scored, someone cheers or smacks the desk. Drives me nuts. I've given up. I can't police the whole thing. But he threw his chair and he started freaking out, and I snapped. I don't know why. I have no problem with Doug Wilson. I've always respected the man. I stand up and I go right over to him and I start screaming in his face, and I'm basically saying, you either respect my press box or you get the hell out. I don't know why it's my press box, but I just thought this is so unprofessional, and I acted unprofessionally in kind. And I'm screaming, not really, but I'm screaming at him, and people had to immediately intervene. Not that we were about to start throwing them, but it sure could have. It was just a heated moment. And we get separated and everything. And I actually ended up writing a little bit about it in my column after that game about how unprofessional the GM was. It got a little nutty. Anyway, the next day, I'm at the press conference for the San Jose Sharks, and the PR guy goes, hey, Doug Wilson would like to see you. And I'm like, okay, I've always been priding myself on if someone doesn't like what I write or say, I face them, like that's the way it works. And he goes, yeah, he's up in room 2012. He's just waiting for you up there. Just go up and see him. I'm like, what? Like, alone? Like, no witnesses at all?
A hotel room visit?
He's waiting for you. He knows you're coming. I'm like, okay. And I got to tell you, that elevator ride up the West End in Calgary was like a little nerve-wracking. I'm not a fighter. I don't pretend to be. I mean, I guess in that press box for 2 seconds I thought I was. Anyway, I go knocking on the door. He's wearing like these fuzzy slippers. And he goes, hey, Eric, come on in. I'm like, oh, man, this is getting worse. I come in, he goes, do you want a drink?
Was he wearing a robe?
Not a robe, no. No smoker's jacket, no robe. And he calls me in and he says, Eric, would you like a drink? I'm like, no, I'm good, Doug. Thanks. It's all good. I think I'll just kind of stand right here. Take my lumps like a man. Anyway, he says,
fuzzy slippers.
Anyway,
fuzzy slippers. You got to think it's not. He's not going to throw down in fuzzy slippers.
No man throws down in fuzzy slippers. So I'm like, anyway, he immediately starts saying, Eric, I just want to apologize. The way I acted last night was completely over the line. I want to explain to you why I was not. Mike Ratchie has a broken wrist, and we don't want anyone to know that. So when the fight started and he was getting pounded, he couldn't defend himself. And so I was screaming at the refs to break it up. Obviously, the refs can't hear me, but that's why I acted so viscerally. And I apologize. That's your domain. I know that the press acts, respectively while they're in there. And my bad. You'll never see that happen again. Anyway, we ended up having some tea together to go with those slippers, and everything was good. And we've had a great relationship ever since. But for a split second there, I thought I was about to get Chuck Norris by Doug Wilson.
Oh, well. Here, okay, all-time NHL front office managers that you've worked with or around, not just Flames, everybody, who most intimidating?
Well, I think most of my colleagues would probably say Daryl Sutter, but I never found Daryl intimidating because I've worked with him for so many years. But I could see how he intimidated so many people around me. Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I'll never forget when Brian Burke, when I was doing the hot stove on Hockey Night in Canada, Burke called me one time. I didn't call him; he called me, and I thought, oh my God, like this, I'm in trouble. Same thing though; he was incredible, and Burke and I are good friends to this day. Like for the last couple of years, whenever I'm in his city, I go to his house and we have dinner. Like. So it's just funny, the rough exterior is often, it's not accurate. I thought you were going to say who's the nicest guy, and I could give you a long list of GMs who are just total first class.
Well, people are going to want to hear that now. Give us 3. Give us 4.
Well, Ken Holland is a magical man. Jim Nill is absolute best human being you'll ever meet. Craig Conroy is people, I think every guy who's ever followed the Flames would say, I'd love to have a beer with Craig Conroy. So those are three that come to mind in today's modern game. But, there's a lot of good guys. They're usually pretty good guys.
Who's another guy that if you got called up to his hotel room would probably be in fuzzy slippers?
Oh, my Lord. Like a GM that would be in fuzzy slippers.
Maybe a robe.
That is a good... What's that?
Maybe a robe.
A robe? Oh. I can give you lots of guys who'd be in robes. No, I'm just kidding. Let me get back to you on this one, but let me just reiterate. Chuck Norris could dribble a bowling ball. I mean, this guy was so legendary. Let's get back to Chuck, should we?
No. I've been wanting to ask you this question. I didn't even tee this up, so you have no idea. For a couple weeks now, maybe even 3. Because if people out there in Sportscage land get to watch it's Eric Francis, our NHL insider, brought to you by Sports Select. If you watch Eric Francis, sometimes he is with Scott Oak after hours on Saturdays. And for some reason, I think maybe it's just the age I'm in, I watch a lot of after hours now. And sometimes I text you, and I know you're not looking at your phone while you're on there, but I'm like, that'd be funny if you say this. And I'm like, what are you doing? I'm usually tequila deep. And I'm like, but I want to know, how does that segment play out? Because there's a lot of times that Scott will ask 3, 4, 5 questions in a row, and you're sitting there. Do you only get so many, or is there a time crunch, or how does that work? Can you let us know?
It's Scott's segment. He invented the show, right? Like, I'm just lucky to be along for the ride. I always feel honored when he asks me to come on, and I often ask myself, well, I don't know why he asked me to come on or anybody to come on. Like, he could carry that whole thing by himself. But I think he wants it to be more of a conversation, like a 3-way, as opposed to an interrogation or an interview. And so he wants that feel. So it is heavily scripted in terms of the questions that are asked. We certainly have the ability to freelance and ad lib, and if something comes up, you can say, wait, no, follow up on that. I want to hear more about that. But for the most part, there is a bit of a script in terms of the visuals we want to get to and the questions that come with them.
Do they actually honestly take some questions from people? Because they'll be like, all right, we're going to Roberta in Buffalo Narrows. She's got a question for Connor.
Yeah. Like, it's amazing. Scott's got his cell phone there.
Oh, okay.
I'm a paper guy. Like, everything's on paper for me. I'm still old school. He's evolved into, like, he's looking at his Twitter feed and he's like reading out some of the questions from Twitter. It's pretty cool.
3 challenges in a game the other night. You had it. You were the one that posted it. I guess it happened not that long ago. I was expecting it's never happened that a team won 3 challenges.
So, 2023, Jay Woodcroft in Edmonton. It's the only time it's ever happened where a team has successfully challenged 3 calls. I think it needs to be mentioned that in all 3 cases, the right call was eventually made. Like, it wasn't a goalie interference thing where you're like, well, I think it was, I think it wasn't. Look, as soon as we as broadcasters looked at the replay, in all 3 cases, you're like, yeah, that's not going to count. But I thought it was really interesting that Ryan Husk, after the game, the Flames coach, said, I would rather the referees not call a close call, let the play continue, and then find out later they were wrong, as opposed to an overzealous referee who blows the whistle potentially a little too quickly to diffuse a great scoring chance or situation. Do you agree with what I'm saying? Like, I think he's right. Like, look, it's probably an embarrassing night for the refs that in 3 cases, I guess the whole world saw that they were wrong. But I would rather they go, that was close to being a high stick. Yeah. Let's play it, let it play out. If there's a goal scored, we'll find out if we were wrong. But, at least the flow continues. Because there's nothing I hate more than whistle, 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 whistle.
That's kind of what they do in the NFL. And I don't know about the CFL, but it's just let it play out, and then we'll go back and correct it. Florida's in Calgary tonight. It's a Friday night. First off, let's play the game. Let's start with Colson. Pull your mic over there, Colson. Friday night, at the Saddle Dome. There's only 50 games left in the Saddle Dome. Only 50 games left. I heard that today on your radio station. How much do you think Friday night tickets, cheapest ticket tonight for Florida, Colson?
Cheapest ticket? 22.
Eric?
Oh, that was my answer last time. Yeah, I'll go 23.
No, man. You better sell your seasons tonight because you can make bank. They're $38 is the lowest ticket tonight.
I have season tickets, as you know, and I sold mine tonight. I was shocked I did. I sold them for way under value. But it's Matthew Tkachuk, and it's the two-time defending champs. I know they're no good this year, but, you know, Matthew Tkachuk will always have a special place in people's heart, or, you know, or they hate his guts. That's one or the other with him in every city he goes to. But, yeah, and it's a Friday night. That's a rebuild, baby.
I know you won't. I know you don't do this, but at some point, I'm gonna have to get you to get Matthew to autograph something to my son, because he's filling out all these WHL questionnaires right now, and it's always like, what player do you model your game after? And all these kids are probably putting Crosby, McDavid, whatever. He's like, auto, Matthew Tkachuk, Matthew Tkachuk, Matthew Tkachuk.
Amazing. I want to see your son play. Look, I think Matthew Tkachuk is one of the best things that's ever happened to the NHL. There are people that are like freaking out right now when I say that, but nobody gets it like the Tkachuks. Nobody understands the business of entertainment like the Tkachuks. Nobody understands how to win a game in 5 different ways: with your mouth, with your stick, with your body, hitting a guy, with your fists, fighting a guy. Like, how many guys in the league can change a game with any of those 5 tools? Not many. Only Tkachuks. Marchand, maybe too.
That's who my daughter plays like.
She plays like Marchand?
They called her Little Brad Marchand. Okay, let's get back to the Chuck. What's a couple more Chuck Norris ones? I'm looking up Sun now too.
Well, Chuck Norris uses pepper spray to season his meat. I mean, that's amazing. I didn't know that, but when you hear that,
where's that? On the 7th day, God rested. Chuck Norris took over. Man, they go on.
Scott Forrest on the text line. When Chuck Norris does a push-up, he isn't lifting himself up. He's pushing the earth down.
Oh, they're on, and on, and on. And at the end of the day...
I love it. When Chuck Norris lifts weights, the weights get in shape. I just think it's amazing. The power this man had, incredible.
But really, the movies are like, meh. You look, Firewalker, Hero of Terror, The Hitman, Hellbound, Top Dog, The Cutter. Some of these might even be adult films. The Delta Force.
Here's a good one. Chuck Norris destroyed the periodic table because Chuck Norris only recognizes the element of surprise.
That is a good one. Oh, man.
Chuck Norris beat the Sun in a staring contest.
You got good ones. You found good ones. You should, print those off and just all night at the Dome until somebody punches you in the media booth.
Chuck Norris doesn't breathe. He holds air hostage.
Eric Francis, our NHL insider. All right. Have a good weekend. I'll text you if you're on Hot Stove tomorrow.
Yeah, please do. Give me a challenge, my man. Thanks. See you, buddy.
Later. It's brought to you by Sports Select, where now you can make all your picks online. It generates a QR code. Lotto Spot retailer. Scan away. Every bet is 100% legal. Chance of winning cash in hand right now with March Madness on, NHL playoffs. Maybe you like the golf as well. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly. Oh, that's why I didn't bring it up in hour one, because I knew Eric was just going to take the Chuck Norris thing to another level. Didn't we all need that on a Friday? That was a lot of fun. It's a Sportscage. We'll go to break. We'll be right back on 620 CKRM.
Regina Pats Hockey.
Partial breakaway, right side stops. He scores!
Then at Dunlop Ford, Regina Pats Hockey is back on your official voice of the Pats. 620 CKRM.
Tune into Puck Drop tonight at 7 when the Regina Pats take on the Brandon Wheat Kings at the Brandt Center.
Game day tickets are available now from the Pats box office. Don't miss a minute of the action. Listen on air or online at 620CKRM.com. Regina Pats Hockey.
The auction calendar is stacked at Ritchie Brothers, and an exciting Regina Unreserved auction is happening March 24th. Visit the Ritchie Brothers website or Regina location to view a wide variety of used equipment from top brand manufacturers. You won't want to miss this great opportunity. Head to rbauction.com/Regina to sign up and be ready for the auction. Again, that's rbauction.com/Regina.
10 at 12.5.
What's going on in the markets? When is the right time to invest? What should you do with your money today? When Len had questions, he talked to Brian Golly.
I was with the bank, but they're a little bit too big, a little bit impersonal. I was kind of looking for someone with more of a personal touch, and Brian's a good old Saskatchewan boy and a really good guy to deal with.
Don't guess with your money this RRSP season. Call Brian Golly at Smart Investing Solutions, 546-2533.
I would recommend them to anyone.
If you've got a Steelcraft garage door, you've got a door with parts manufactured and assembled right here in Canada. A door with better insulation and seal, plus a warranty you're probably never going to use. Combined with a LiftMaster opener, it's the right choice. And if you don't have a Steelcraft garage door, you should get one. And a LiftMaster opener. 100% made by Canadians for Canadians. Steady, tariff-free pricing and great quality, no matter what.
Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door, Steelcraft door. We offer more.
Since 1949, Nelson Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nelson Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality. In the Fort Capella area, call Calvin at 99 Builders or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
Out here in southern Saskatchewan, the sun shows up for work every day. Might as well make it earn its keep. That's where Keln Solar comes in. These folks travel all over the province helping people put solar on their homes, farms, and cabins. They're local guys, Sask-born, Sask-raised, and not going anywhere. Except, to your place. Now's the time to start planning for spring and summer 2026 bookings. Give Keln Solar a call and they'll come show you your best options. Keln Solar. They move the power so you don't have to. KelnSolar.com.
The Sportscage Clutch Performer, brought to you by Keln Solar. 35 years of experience, moving water from a dugout or well without electricity. Visit KelnSolar.com to find out more about your livestock operation.
All right. Mine, I don't have any names, just the game. The high school city boys basketball championship. I'm really glad both of these teams get to go to Hoopla, because you would hate for someone's high school career to end 1-point game last night.
Ooh.
It was Miller defeating Sheldon 71-70. What a game to everyone involved. That's entertainment. And then that's a good basketball game right there. Both teams, like I said, advanced to Hoopla. Tonight the girls go Laboldus Miller at the Luther Gymnasium. Colson, what do you got?
I got two from March Madness. They were both yesterday. There are a few games going on right now. Actually, Utah State just upset Villanova.
No!
It was a 9-8 seed, so not like a huge upset, but still, they beat them by 10, 86-76. So that just happened. But yesterday, Siena Duke, 16 seed versus a 1 seed. The final score was 71-65, which doesn't sound super close, but it was close the whole game. My clutch performer, though, goes to their 5 starters because they played the full game.
No way.
No substitutions.
What?
You're seeing it on the screen right now. 0 substitutions. I think with like 17 seconds left or something, they finally subbed some of the guys out. But they went the whole game.
Whoa.
And again, this is showing 5 minutes left in the second half. 61-60 for Siena. Like, whew.
That's Regina Pat Blues might have to do that tomorrow. That's interesting stuff.
And then So this is the one that we've been talking about now. We've been teeing up. High Point, who beat Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
This is.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
Right on.
So this is
I haven't heard it yet.
This is the radio call. Again, they won tight at the end, so the team gets the clutch. But this is their radio caller. So we're just going to play it for you.
Anderson, driving, step back. In circles now. Johnson catch and shoot. That's what they needed. Timeout. Timeout. Portland. Do you believe it? Here comes Johnson. The layup.
And they take the lead with 11 here left.
This is so good.
Takes it down.
If you're not watching the stream, you're just getting the audio. These guys are awesome.
Inside. Try. 6 seconds.
Block, they grab it, they foul.
Anderson gets it. Throw on the glass slipper. It's a Cinderella story in Portland, Oregon. For the first time in program history. High Point breaks through. We will see you in the round of 32. Oh, what a feeling.
And that guy's a student. He's doing that for fun. That was a sick call.
Can we try and get those guys on?
Sure.
In the next couple, can you resource that? You figure because you're probably the same demographic as those guys,
give or take. But another little thing just to throw out here for you: the guy who scored the 2-pointer to put them into the lead.
Mm-hmm.
That was his 5th 2-point attempt this season and his first make. He's only shot threes, and he's been shooting about 50% this whole year. And then hits a 2-pointer to put them over.
I heard that. That's wild.
This whole story, man.
Have you ever seen the guys on Instagram that do the fake play-by-play over top of like famous calls?
I think so. I've seen a few of them.
They are spitting images of those guys, and those guys are real. Those guys are for real.
Yeah.
It was so people out there that are listening on the radio, if you know what I'm talking about, the two young guys that's on Instagram a lot, and they do famous calls, the Masters. They'll do basketball, baseball, football, hockey, and that is what those guys look like.
Yeah, you just reminded me. We forgot to bring this up while Eric was on. The Masters posted on their website a video search. You can go and search up any shot from any final round since 1968.
I need to know if Harry knows that, because that is something that Harry will go down the rabbit hole and he'll like stay up for 3 days just doing that.
Oh, this one, I wonder if they have it, but only the final rounds. So if you want like Tiger from round 2 in 2008 or something, out of luck.
Or old school stuff like Fuzzy Zeller ripping a 2-iron thin off the tight lie. That was Clutch Performer. For Kellen Solar in Lumsden, Saskatchewan, local company. You're thinking solar maybe on the house? They can come by, give you a quote, let you know if it's possible. Maybe farm, maybe cottage, business, whatever. Kellen Solar, the local company in Lumsden, Saskatchewan. Okay, let's go right into Sprinkle of the Day here. Colson for Sports Select. I've said it before. You can just scan a QR code now, make your picks online, go to your Lotto Spot retailer. Hey, we're all in the same boat here. We did get a text or two on the Prairie Land Rentals text line. I asked about a sprinkle from somebody. Here, Benny sent one in. Sprinkle of the Day, Iowa State, all the way. Iowa State. Are they playing? There's a lot of games. There's a lot of looking at
Iowa at Clemson.
That's not Iowa State though. No. But anywho, I want to you look at the NCAA game, like Iowa Clemson's a -1.5. That's going to be I like the tie at 240. Like on the way home, I don't know what time does it start? 4:50. I have to call in a favor. Might have to get the boy. Oh, he's not of age. I might have to get the wife to stop in and get this one. UCF, UCLA. It's a 5-point spread. There could be some ties to have tonight at sportselect.com when it comes to March Madness. Oh. Exciting time. Sportselect.com. Make your picks online now, or you can go and fill them out the way you also check out the future situation. You can still bet on the winner of the whole darn thing. Every bet is 100% legal with your chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select, when you're ready to play. Bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. I should have read that part. Play responsibly. All right, let's go to break here. Sportscage, we're having a blast. It's Friday. It's for Nelson Holmes. Streaming through our YouTube channel if you want to watch along at sportscage.com.
Looking for the best gear at the best price? Extreme Hockey and Sport has raised the bar, and their price match guarantee means you always get the best deal. Find a lower price, and they'll match it. Get the gear you need, the service you trust, and the price you want with knowledgeable staff to help fit every player properly. Only at Extreme Hockey, now under new management. Locally owned and supporting the community. 1425 McIntyre Street, the Cooperator Center, Temple Garden Center in Moose Jaw, and online at extremehockey.net.
You've worked hard for years, but when you retire, do you know your options that truly fit you and your family? That's where Chad Reach, Senior Wealth Advisor, and the team at GP Financial Services and Aviso Wealth come in. They help you understand your choices, avoid costly mistakes, and build a retirement plan. Independent advice, local expertise. Before you make the next move, talk to Chad Reach, 306-584-2755.
Mutual funds and other securities are offered through Aviso Wealth, a division of Aviso Financial Inc.
The auction calendar is stacked at Ritchie Brothers, and an exciting Regina Unreserved auction is happening March 24th. Visit the Ritchie Brothers website or Regina location to view a wide variety of used equipment from top brand manufacturers. You won't want to miss this great opportunity. Head to rbauction.com/Regina to sign up and be ready for the auction. Again, that's rbauction.com/Regina.
10, that's 12-5.
Get it hot, get it fast. Western Pizza.
Picture this, a crust so golden it could blind a superhero. Toppings piled higher than a stack of pancakes on a trampoline. Every bite, a flavor explosion. Every slice, a hug for your taste buds. Garlic, roasted to perfection. Pepperoni, perfectly spicy. Western Pizza is so good, you'll argue who gets the last slice. Western Pizza, dine in or take out today.
And get it hot, get it fast. Western Pizza.
You cut the grass, we'll cut the deal at Brent Agriculture. Get 0% financing for 84 months, plus cash rebates and bonuses on select John Deere turf equipment. Save on compact utility tractors, riding lawnmowers, and utility vehicles. Get it from people who get it. Offer ends April 30th, 2026. Some restrictions may apply. See dealer for details.
It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Extreme Hockey and Sport is the home of the price match guarantee. 1425 McIntyre Street, the Cooperator Center, Moose Jaw Temple Garden Center, and online at extremehockey.net.
Luther Gymnasium will be buzzing tonight. It's the City Girls Basketball Championships, LaBoldus Miller, 7 p.m. tip. Hockey under the orange top, Brandt Center. Pats hosting the Brandon Wheat Kings. Brandon needs points. The Pats need 1 point to clinch a playoff spot. Get their early pregame show right here on 620 CKRM at 6:30. Other Saskatchewan teams, big one, Broncos hosting Moose Jaw. Moose Jaw needs to win there. Also, the Blades are in Prince Albert to take on the Raiders. The Raiders need points to try and finish first. SJ playoff start. Here we go. Yorkton home to Melville. Battleford home to Melfort. Weyburn traveling into Nipawin. And Estevan's made that sexy trip all the way up to Flin Flon. World Women's Curling Championships in Calgary. Carrie Anderson dusted Australia 11-2 today. They're now 9-2, taking on Japan tonight. National Hockey League Canadian teams, Toronto, they're warming up right now. They're taking on Carolina, and the Flames are home to the Florida Panthers. Sportscage.com poll. Which SJHL team is most likely to pull off a first-round upset? Vote at sportscage.com. Prairieland Rentals, if you need anything rental-wise in and around Regina, not just Regina, 600 Albert Street, you get to deal with the owner. Prairieland Rentals text lines 936-6262. I'll throw this out there. Terry in Montana listening. Clutch performers. How about the Scobie Spartans boys basketball team? They won the Class C state tournament after winning the Class C 8-man football title last fall. That's impressive. Memories forever in small town Montana. Thanks, Terry, in Scobie, or in and around Scobie down there. Love me, Montana. Man, I love Montana. Greg on the text line, he's got a Chuck Norris one for us. He goes, when Chuck Norris dies, he didn't go to heaven. The heavens come to earth. Thanks, Greg. There was a funny one somebody sent in. Kevin from Regina. Next year's Halloween costume, I'm going as Doug Wilson in fuzzy slippers and a robe. That's from the Eric Francis segment. Good one, Kevin. Absolutely love it. James in Regina. James wants to get in touch with Jeffrey in Calgary and go have a pint and maybe go watch some football. So, Jeffrey, there's a guy that's on the text line. He's not on the YouTube chat. He doesn't watch the YouTube stream, but he wants to get in touch with you. Here he is disputing something Barney says again. And he read through a video there. That's good. Another sprinkle of the day coming in from the Ben Dog. St. John's, Kansas, Yukon. Bet big, fellas. St. John's, Kansas, Yukon. So those are straight wins, I take it. So what is that? It's got to win by more than 4. It's always iffy. Kansas and Yukon got to be somewhat heavy favorites on there. So yeah.
They're all pretty heavy.
Are they?
Yeah. I just got it up there.
What is it? Total odds only come to 151 though, Ben. That's mac and cheese stuff. I don't know. You can do that one if you want. I might look at something else. I'll keep you updated. 936-6262 if you want to get in on things. Prairie Line Rentals text line. Maybe you got a Chuck Norris story and all that. Is anyone a fan of his movies? Like I said, I haven't heard of a lot of these. Some of these might have been starring Jenna Jameson. Invasion USA, Braddock, Missing in Action 3, Delta Force 2.
Third one.
Yeah. Forest Warrior, direct to video. There's a lot of these are direct to video. Sorry, we shouldn't be laughing at the 86-year-old Chuck Norris who passed away today, but Chuck Norris, he's famous for just a lot of stupidity on the internet that people have made up. Wow, did he have a television career as well? That's last time he was on something was 2020. He was on Hawaii 5-0. He was Walker, Texas Ranger. That's probably his most famous work. And that's a TV show.
His cameo in Dodgeball is also pretty famous.
I can't remember Dodgeball.
You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Yeah, I remember that quote.
It's when they're playing the final game and they need a judge's ruling if the original Joes can play or not, and he's the third judge that gives them a thumbs up and lets them play.
Oh, okay. I might have to check it out. So the WHL playoffs and the possibility, and I think we all kind of want to see it, maybe a tiebreaker because there hasn't been one for a few years. But, it's WHL playoffs. Let's go out on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline and find out more. Joining us on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline, perfect night. Maybe stop at a Western Za before the game, little dine-in action, or get some takeout before or after. Always perfect for Western Pizza. Sponsor of the Regina Pats. It's the Regina Pats in action tonight. Joining us, voice of the Regina Pats, Dante Caria. Dante, are we starting to talk about the possibility of a tiebreak?
Well, Barney, I guess I should just go through some of the scenarios yeah, sure. I mean, there's talk.
Yeah.
That would be next week, early next week, potentially on Tuesday. Now, okay, so let me try to run through the scenarios with you. Now, the Regina Pats need just a single point in this home-and-home set with the Brandon Wheat Kings tonight at home is a big one in order to clinch a playoff spot. That doesn't matter what Moose Jaw does. If they get 1 point, or even better yet, a win, then they clinch a playoff spot. You have the Red Deer Rebels who are in action tonight who could clinch a playoff berth with a single win here tonight. They are 1 point back of the Pats and are 3 points ahead of the Moose Jaw Warriors. Now, Moose Jaw is in action tonight and tomorrow against Swift Current. They have a home and home with the Swift Current Broncos. The Red Deer Rebels have a home and home with the Medicine Hat Tigers. So the only way that there would be a tiebreaker game would be, number one, if Moose Jaw wins their next 2 games, which would be 4 points, they tie Regina in the standings, and Regina does not win or get any points at all. The only way that there could be a tiebreaker game with the Red Deer Rebels is if Red Deer gathers just a single point, so an overtime or shootout loss, Regina does not get any points, and those 2 teams are tied, and then it would be a tiebreaker game with the Red Deer Rebels. One thing I should say is that in both scenarios, a tiebreaker game would be in Red Deer or in Moose Jaw. Regina cannot host the tiebreaker game because it would have Red Deer or the Moose Jaw Warriors with more wins than the Regina Pats, and the first tie-breaking scenario is wins. So Regina would have to play a tiebreaker game on the road. It hasn't happened since 2018-19, so it's been quite a long time. Again, these things don't happen very often, Barney, but it is a possibility. Regina just needs to win. That's it.
Holy cow. That's the reason I didn't like calculus and all those classes like that in school. That is a lot to follow. But it just for people, the simplest thing, Dante, is a Pats win.
Simplest thing is a Pats win or an overtime loss, like literally just one single point. If Moose Jaw wins their next 2 games and Regina gets a single point, they still finish a point ahead of Moose Jaw. Now, that doesn't dictate whether they finish 7th or 8th, but they just need a single point just to make the playoffs, like just to even finish 8th. And that could be a matchup with the Prince Albert Raiders. If the Prince Albert Raiders win tonight, they clinch first in the entire Eastern Conference, which would get them home ice advantage through the majority of the playoffs through the conference finals. So they're in action tonight against Saskatoon. That's a big game for them. The Brandon Wheat Kings have something to play for as well, right? A lot of people are probably saying, well, these games don't really matter for Brandon. They'll just kind of fold the tent. Well, I don't really think so, because Brandon is only 3 points ahead of Saskatoon, and they want to finish in 5th, which would give them an opportunity to play the Calgary Hitmen in round number 1 versus the Edmonton Oil Kings in round number 1. If Saskatoon wins both of their games against the Prince Albert Raiders, which is unlikely, given that Prince Albert's one of the top teams and they're playing for something as well, then those 2 teams would kind of slide front and back of each other. So, I mean, both teams tonight at the Brand Center are playing for something. For anybody that is coming to the rink tonight and says, well, you know, Brandon's just going to kind of lay back and just let things slide, I don't think that's the case at all, Barney.
Oh, yeah, like it's great in that respect for a fan and a fan of the league. There's so many teams playing for things right now. Okay, here's a tough one, or here's one for you, Dante. And now I want you to answer it honestly. Who do the Pats match up better against? Who do the Pats want to play in the first round?
Well, if you want my personal opinion would be the Prince Albert Raiders, because at least they've won a game against them in the season series, and some of the games have been somewhat close. Going back to last Saturday, just a 2-1 shootout loss to Prince Albert at the Brand Center, which was a game that Taylor Shabashnik made 64 saves on 65 shots, which from what I understand might be a Pats single season or single game record by a goaltender. In fact, if he would have got the shutout, it would have been a Regina Pats record for most saves in a shutout, and from what I understand, it could have been the league record as well. So from that standpoint, I'll say Prince Albert. Medicine Hat, just those 2 teams play 2 different style of games. You have in Medicine Hat the Ruck Twins, who are 1 and 2 in WHL scoring, and then you have Pickford, who's close to setting the WHL record for goals in a season by a defenseman. I think he has 47. The all-time record is 49, which is insane. We'll never see this for a while. At least I don't anticipate. You have Wu, who has over 28 goals this year as a defenseman. He leads all WHL defenders in scoring with over 80 points this year. So those are, in my opinion, 4 players that are potentially able to get league awards this season. Then you look at the Prince Albert Raiders, and they don't have a single player within the top 15 in WHL scoring this year. The player that leads their team in goals and in scoring is a defenseman by the name of Daxa Rudolph, who needs 1 more goal to surpass Josh Morrissey for the Raiders' single-season franchise goal record by a defenseman.
Jeez.
So 2 different teams. You have a very balanced Prince Albert Raiders attack that really can play all four lines in all situations, that just rolls everybody. Now, that might change in the playoffs. We'll have to wait and see if, I think the playoffs go deeper and you face off maybe against the Medicine Hat in round number 1. I'm sure they'll shorten out the lineup and stuff like that. But Medicine Hat, to me, is a team you don't want to run into in the playoffs. And it's kind of pick your poison. You don't want to play both teams. They're both very good. But I'd rather play Prince Albert just because you don't have to deal with the Rucks and Pickford and Wu and Basha, who played this year in the American Hockey League before being reassigned to the Medicine Hat Tigers. He's a second-round pick of the Calgary Flames. I mean, they have the 2 Finnish defensemen who are 2 NHL picks on their back end. Like, really, that's a team that's very difficult to beat in the Medicine Hat Tigers. And, hey, Prince Albert's good as well. They have Braden Coots, who is probably going to turn it up a notch. He played NHL games this year, so what am I even saying, right?
Oh, I know, man. I'm getting excited. Like, I wasn't planning because I got things to get to the Brandt Center tonight, but now just with everything on the line and like I might have to go to the game. One thing I wanted to ask you, what do you know about Brandon? Is Brandon healthy? I know they got something to play for. No. I talked about it yesterday.
No, they're not healthy.
Okay.
They've got stuff to play for. They're not healthy. From what I understand, they did get their backup goaltender, Jaden Krause, back. He'll be in the lineup tonight. I don't know if he's going to start. Ruzicka might start, the monster, the 6'7" goaltender that they have. From what I understand, they're pretty banged up. I mean, Joby Baumuller's missed a lot of time. Grayson Brzezinski's been in and out of the lineup. I mean, 2 of their top 6 defensemen have really missed almost the whole entire season, Ronald and Ardenn. Very young back end with not a ton of experience, led by Georgios Pantelis, who's a former first-round pick in his own right. Their forwards are very talented, led by Luke Misselbacher and obviously Jackson Jacobson and Jordan Gavin. Carter Klippenstein's been in and out of the lineup with injuries. I mean, Chase Surkan, who a lot of fans here in Regina know has been hurt. I believe he could be in the lineup tonight. They're not entirely healthy.
But
they still have lots to play for.
Yeah. What about the Pats? What about Liam Pugh and Maddox Schultz quickly?
Yeah, Maddox Schultz will play. This will be the last regular season game of the season. Liam Pugh will play tonight. He has one more game left. He'll play tomorrow in Brandon. Other than that, it still is a little bit of a banged-up lineup. The Pats are kind of down to 5 defensemen for tonight's game, so I think they'll be playing with 13 forwards and 5D.
Dante, good stuff. Big one tonight. Hey, this is what you love, right? You're calling games that matter. It's part of it's the best part of the gig. Yeah. Well, you got a few years here where it's going to get exciting, my friend. So buckle up. All right. Maybe see you at the rink tonight, Dante.
All right. Sounds good. See you later. Thanks for doing this.
Pats and Brandon Wheat Kings, 7 p.m. under the orange top. If you can't make it, you can listen to the game right here. Pre-game show starting at 6:30 on the Mighty 620 CKRM. It's the Sportscage. We'll go to break. We'll be back in a moment. We're streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com.
Regina Pats Hockey.
Partial breakaway, right side stops. He scores!
Then at Dunlop Ford, Regina Pats Hockey is back on your official voice of the Pats. 620 CKRM.
Tune into Puck Drop tonight at 7 when the Regina Pats take on the Brandon Wheat Kings at the Brandt Center.
Game day tickets are available now from the Pats box office. Don't miss a minute of the action. Listen on air or online at 620CKRM.com. Regina Pats Hockey.
Get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
March Madness is here. NHL playoffs, big golf tournaments, and what are you doing? Watching humans chase balls while your stomach cries for mercy. A crust so golden it could win MVP, and toppings piled higher than the coach's stack of playbooks. Pepperoni flying like pucks on ice. Garlic taking a victory lap around your tongue. Western Pizza. Dine in or take out today.
And get it hot and get it fast. Western Pizza.
The auction calendar is stacked at Ritchie Brothers, and an exciting Regina Unreserved auction is happening March 24th. Visit the Ritchie Brothers website or Regina location to view a wide variety of used equipment from top brand manufacturers. You won't want to miss this great opportunity. Head to rbauction.com/Regina to sign up and be ready for the auction. Again, that's rbauction.com/Regina.
10 to 12.
Are you overwhelmed by debt and getting nonstop calls from creditors? It can feel like there's no escape. Debt doesn't have to be a life sentence. A single call can turn things around. My name is Jasmine Brown. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO right here in Regina. I can help you become debt-free with a solution just for you. Let's put an end to those calls from creditors together. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
Bender Shorthorns of Neudorf and Star P Farms of Humboldt invite you to their online sale featuring yearling shorthorn bulls and females on Saturday, March 21st. Photos, videos, and bidding are all online at DLMS and FarmGateTimedAuctions.ca. To schedule a viewing prior to the sale, call Ryan at 306-728-8613. All bids must be placed online prior to 7 p.m. March 21st. That's the Bender Shorthorns of Neudorf and Star P Farms of Humboldt online sale March 21st. Online at DLMS.ca and FarmGateTimedAuctions.ca.
Stop scrolling through Pinterest and turn those someday home projects into right now reality. The Regina Spring Home Show is back March 27th through the 29th at the Bungie International Trade Center at Real District. Whether you're buying, building new, renovating, or planning a backyard oasis, we've got it all under one roof, including those outdoor adventures to begin planning your summer. Admission includes parking, and kids 12 and under are free. Grab your advance tickets online now and save. Spring into action and visit reginaspringhomeshow.com for details.
Since 1949, Nelson Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nelson Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality. In the Fort Capella area, call Calvin at 99 Builders or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
You cut the grass, we'll cut the deal at Brent Agriculture. Get 0% financing for 84 months, plus cash rebates and bonuses on select John Deere turf equipment. Save on compact utility tractors, riding lawnmowers, and utility vehicles. Get it from people who get it. Offer ends April 30th, 2026. Some restrictions may apply. See dealer for details.
Want to get a delicious 50% off? Like now? Skip to the good part and save up to $15 on orders of $30 or more in the Skip app. Use code NOW50 at checkout. Like now. Terms apply only on Skip.
Proudly broadcasting from Treaty 4 territory, the homeland of the Dakota, Nakota, Lakota, Saulteaux, and on the homeland of the Métis Nation. We are 620 CKRM Regina, a Harvard media station.
Good evening, I'm Tanner Wallace-Scribner from the SaskToday.ca newsroom with 620 CKRM News for Echo Sound in Fort Capel. Stay connected with a new cell phone from Echo Sound. Call 306-332-6711 and brought to you by the Capital Automotive Group. Capital's 100K giveaway is back. See capital100k.ca for more information. Regina Mayor Chad Buczynski says increased provincial funding for municipalities is a positive step, but more is needed. The province has committed a record $392.4 million through municipal revenue sharing this year. Buczynski says the increase will help the city address infrastructure pressures, but adds municipalities can't solve those challenges alone. He says Regina will continue pushing for additional funding tools and agreements with both provincial and federal governments. The mayor also highlighted homelessness is a key issue, saying investments in transitional and supportive housing are essential. A driver has been injured after a crash on Ring Road on Wednesday. Police say the incident occurred early Wednesday evening near Wascana Parkway. The vehicle left the road and hit a tree after the driver lost control. Bystanders helped remove the driver before the vehicle caught fire. The man was taken to the hospital with injuries described as serious but non-life-threatening. Police continue to investigate. The Canadian Taxpayers Federation is raising concerns after the City of Regina said it does not track gift card spending. The group asked for records from 2025, including totals by department, but was told the data is not collected. City officials also said finding the information would take significant time. The Federation says taxpayers deserve clear accounting for all spending. Regina says it does not have a formal gift card program, but does have policies to ensure cards are used and distributed appropriately.
33 people lost their lives in Saskatchewan last year due to impaired driving-related crashes. That's according to Saskatchewan RCMP Traffic Services, which released 2025 statistics during National Impaired Driving Prevention Week. Police say alcohol or drugs were a factor in 33% of all fatal collisions they responded to. In total, nearly 2,000 impaired drivers were taken off the road across the province. RCMP say the numbers are a stark reminder of the risks of driving under the influence. Saskatchewan's health minister says the province will speak to village residents who say they were tormented by a cult. Jeremy Cockrell made the comments after public prosecutors stayed charges against Romana Didelot this week. He says the cult's former headquarters in Richmond remains vacant.
I know there'll be, increased engagement with the community in Richmond, with local residents. So I know Minister Schmaltz and Minister Uyghur will be having some of those discussions as well, and certainly open to feedback and really the thoughts of the local residents and understanding kind of what their perspectives are on things and where we go from there.
The cult, known as the Kingdom of Canada, was forced out in a police raid last year after being accused of spewing sewage from their building and threatening residents. That's 620 CKRM News. Read more stories from around your community and around the province at sastoday.ca and 620CKRM.com.
Capital's 100K giveaway is back for 2026. The Capital Automotive Group is giving away $100,000 in cash and prizes with no strings attached. We're proud to be part of communities across Western Canada, and we know it's those communities that allow us to exist. So every once in a while, once a year to be exact, we're going to say thanks by giving away $100,000 in cash and prizes. To learn more and enter to win, check out capital100k.ca. Capital's 100K giveaway. Do not miss it.
Picture this. You sit down to watch TV and suddenly your screen freezes harder than a triple axle. If you're ready for a smoother routine, Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has a better idea. Max TV Stream. More streaming, less buffering. A performance that actually sticks the landing. And while you're at it, glide into fast SaskTel internet and cell phone packages that are balanced, reliable, and make sense for your household. Smart entertainment, smart connectivity. Echo Sound, your SaskTel authorized dealer in Fort Qu'Appelle. EchoSound.ca.
Brought to you by Next Gen Coatings. Spray coatings for truck bed liners, rocker panels, and more. Same company, new name. 1865 McCarra Street in Regina.
Cloudy sky through the night with some spotty showers and sprinkles, drizzle, most of this very light. But they'll be around through the early part of the night. Temperatures getting down to around 2 by morning. And the showers will continue into the daytime. They'll just start to mix over to other types of precipitation and even become lighter toward morning. May briefly pick up early day, but it's mostly drizzle, a little freezing drizzle, some flurries on and off through the day. Temperatures peak at 2 degrees in the morning, drop off through the day down to -2, and the wind settles down. Nearly calm by evening, and a calm night Saturday night. Any of the flurries that continue diminish, mostly cloudy sky down to -6. Sunday, partly sunny, with a high of 2. Into Sunday night, a chance for a bit of light snow. A quick shot of that before we clear back out to partial sun and climb back to around 4 degrees on Monday. Increasing cloud cover on Tuesday, the high near 0 through the day. A chance for a bit of light accumulating snow at night. With your 620 CKRM weather forecast, I'm Precision Weather Meteorologist Phil Spivak.
For over 40 years, you've known them as Regina's trusted vehicle protection specialists. Now they're introducing the next gen of coatings. New name, new level of protection. They're now Next Gen Coatings. 3 generations of their family have served your family, and that hasn't changed. Same owners, same commitment, ready for the next gen of truck beds, rocker panels, trailers, bumpers, and running boards. The company hasn't changed, just the name. Next Gen Coatings, 1865 McCarra Street. The next gen starts now.
Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents The Sports Cage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Brought to you by Nelson Homes, supplying home packages and RTMs for over 65 years. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sports Cage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Welcome back. Sports Cage on this Friday. Going into the weekend, and it has been fun. It's for Nelson Homes, supplying home packages and RTMs for over 65 years. The Prairieland Rentals text line has been pretty hot with Chuck Norris-isms. That's what we can call him. That we lost the screen legend today. How old was he, Colson? 86? 80. You might remember him from such motion pictures as Firewalker, Hero and the Terror, Hellbound, Forest Warrior, 1996. That went direct to video. Keep them coming. Let us know. Let me read a couple of these quick here from people. From Gabe, Chuck Norris has never blinked in his entire life. Never. Tony, Chuck Norris does not use spell check. If he happens to misspell a word, Oxford will change the spelling. Sam, Chuck Norris stands faster than anyone can run. There's a lot. Eric Francis, if you go back and listen in podcast form or watch it on YouTube, Eric had a blast with it. It's exciting times around Saskatchewan. We got a lot of hockey, playoff hockey. We're going to get to the AAA midget series that starts tomorrow between Moose Jaw and Regina in moments here with both play-by-play guys. Dante talked to us about the Western Hockey League playoffs. That's going. SJHL playoffs starting tonight. We briefed that. Female playoffs, senior going on. What a game. What a game. And by the way, someone asked this on the text line too. What's going on in Raymore Sunday for tickets? Raymore and Lumsden Provincial A final. I can tell you that the plan is first come, first serve at the door. Hopefully we don't have to turn anyone away. It will be get to know your neighbor night for sure. Like an old bar. Be like a bar in the 90s. Everyone packed in, nice and tight. Yeah. That's, was that 5 o'clock face-off in Raymore Sunday? I might be there. Might be in the mixer. Did you have something, Colson?
Just a couple more Chuck Norris ones. Chuck Norris's shoes tie themselves.
What's that?
Chuck Norris's shoes tie themselves. And he built the hospital he was born in.
Oh, yeah. 936-6262. And then someone here, no name, was asking about that flag football game. It is tomorrow in Los Angeles, and they were asking about the Tom Brady roster. Yeah, Tom Brady's team, him and Jalen Hurts at quarterback, Ashton Genty, Alvin Kamara, Gronkowski, Antoine Winfield, Devontae Smith, Stephon Diggs, Von Miller, DeMar Hamlin. I am so intrigued. We're all intrigued. We talked to Farhan Lalji about it in hour 1. We'll play that again in hour 3 here. Farhan and then Nathan Rourke is playing flag football in Cloverdale this weekend. So that's let's get more on the local stuff here. Okay, we've been talking about it here. We cover it here because we love it. I think it's going to be an amazing series. If you followed it last year, it was fantastic, and we got it again. It's what we thought. Moose Jaw Regina, male U18 AAA championship final, midget AAA for all of those of you born before 2015. Starts tomorrow at the Sixer here in Regina. I thought it'd be fun to bring on both play-by-play voices of the teams. Joining us again on the Western Pizza guest hotline from the Regina Pats Canadians, Ardenn Lloyd, and from the Moose Jaw Warriors, JD Haughton. Fellas, it's here again. Ardenn, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, that all signs were pointing to this, but then the Saskatoon Blazers were like, hold up, we got something to say, and then now they extend and they push Moose Jaw not only to Game 5, but to overtime. Regina Pat Canadians, they might not want to say it, but it's like, go beat each other up. We're here resting.
Yeah, it was a little bit up in the booth. It was nearly as exciting as calling those games, but we'd check the box scores in between the intermission, and I'm like, oh, check it again. Check it. Oh, they're going to 4. Oh, they're going to 5. Oh, it's going to OT. Oh my goodness. So I had a roller coaster just watching the box scores. I can't imagine what it was like to be there.
JD, we heard your call. We played it on the show yesterday. It was exciting. Definitely a day of rest for the vocal cords. Was it always going to be Ryan Gibbs that scored that goal?
You know what? Actually, it's funny. Before that game, I don't think Ryan
has had the playoffs so far leading up into Game 5 that I think he wanted to have. He led the league in goals with 41 as a 17-year-old, and propelled past his stats from last year. But he only came into Game 5, I think, with 4 assists. So I think for him, we were all talking. We're like, Gibby's due for a game, and I think he tied the game twice and got the game winner. The hometown kid, and in his home rink in front of all his high school buddies and all his classmates. I had a feeling that he was going to break out. Obviously, a hat trick in Game 5, including the game winner. I wasn't on the old bingo card, but I think for him, you couldn't have written that any better. It was awesome.
Ardenn, what do you got to say on that?
I just got to say that's the last thing that we wanted to see. We noticed the same thing, right? Gibbs had a bit of a slow playoffs, but man, hat trick performance coming up. We hate to come into that hot hand.
But shooters got to shoot, right? And then they step up at the right time. I want to ask you, Ardenn, do you got any inside baseball for us? Do we know, is Maddox Schultz and Liam Pugh expected to play in this? I know the live barn feed at the Cooperator Center is always locked, so I don't know. But yeah, what do you know about those two players for the Patsies?
So I've got no 100% confirmation insider trading for you, but I imagine it's a split, as they both have games eligible to play for the Regina Pats proper and their WHL push. They need to gain a point on Brandon here in the last weekend in some way or another. All they need is an OT loss to secure a playoff spot, but they lose out and Moose Jaw wins out. That's playoffs gone. So a split is likely, and once the Pats make the playoffs, if that might overlap just a tad with the end of this series, it's entirely possible. So they'll be in the lineup, but I can't tell you with 100% certainty that they'll be in it for the whole series.
JD, when you've called the games and you've watched the Patsies play, a lot of people are saying the Patsies are still a really good hockey team without these two players in. But let's be honest, you got Maddox Schultz and Liam Pugh. It's a different ball of wax. How do you think the Warriors are gonna handle this? How do they match up with and without those two in the lineup?
I think they, obviously with those two in the lineup, they're two really exceptional players. That's why they were granted exceptional status. It's in the last 3 years, to play up an age group. We saw it last year with Maddox in our league. He scored 93 points as a 14-year-old. They're really, really great players. And just for us to match up with them when they're in the lineup is just to be really good in our own end and good structure and good defensively. And I think, we've had great goaltending all year with both of our goaltenders. So I think that those guys just need to stand tall as well. And for us really is stay out of the penalty box. I remember last year, all 3 of those games were close in the league final last year, but it was, there was moments where we took a penalty and they were able to capitalize, and that ended up being the game winner, in 3 really low scoring games. So I think for us, just stay to our structure, be good defensively, be good in our own zone, because those two can make you pay for mistakes. And then, they're still a really good team without those two in the lineup. Malachi Martin, Nathan Gardner, Ethan Young, Riker Doka, the list goes, Grady Hodgins. They've all been really good. And I think the same goes for if they're not in the lineup. We just have to play our game and be successful and score when we have scoring chances, especially on the power play.
Ardenn, do you think home ice is really a factor in this one? When I watched Moose Jaw play the one time, I couldn't really tell the first line from the third line apart. They were just forechecking, they were banging, they were all over it. Is the last change going to be that much of a factor? Maybe with Liam and Maddox in the lineup, and then just the atmosphere as well. I feel Moose Jaw just down the road, they got guys that have played here and they're from the area. I don't know if the atmosphere is that much of a factor for either team here.
Yeah, with the travel as close as it is, expect big crowds from either side and either barns, right? And you mentioned the depth on the lines for Moose Jaws. It makes it tough for matchups, but that's the same way for the Pac Canadians, right? They've had 3 really solid lines that they roll through when Schultz and Pure out of the lineup. And when you add those two players in, it almost gives an extra 3 players on the ice, because it's a whole extra fourth line that has as much depth as the rest of the lineup when those two guys are out there. So as long as we don't shatter any more plexiglass corners in Regina, home ice advantage should be okay. But it's dangerous. We've had to add the PA guy come up and say, hey, youth hockey teams, this has happened too many times. We can't break another plexiglass in the corner. There's already a segment that's a foot lower than the rest of it, because that's all we had for replacements. So.
Yeah, I heard them. They were on Facebook Marketplace looking for some new plexiglass, and the security that they have at the Cooperator Center. We've all seen it. Like, you don't want to mess with that stuff there for a number of reasons. Okay, I want to go around the horn here, and JD, going to put you on the hot seat first, since you're the visitor, kind of. I need a prediction.
Oh, I had a feeling that this was coming, and I was trying to think about what I wanted to say. You know what? I think that this is we have half of our team is returning from last year. The team players that experienced that heartbreak in Regina in Game 3. You know what? Obviously, with me supporting the team that I call games for, I'm going to say Moose Jaw in 5.
All right. Ardenn, I know I can pretty much put down here what you're going to say, but fire away.
I'd be fired live on radio if I didn't back-to-back Canadians. And you know what? I'm going to match the sentiment of 5 games. I think there's no better way than this series to end in 5 games. It was a regular season series split, really, in wins and losses. You can get a little technical, and the OT losses are not a point here or there, but it was a split win and loss in the regular season, and lots of those games went to OT. And I think what could be a better scenario than having the 2 top teams in the province and arguably 2 of the top teams in the entire nation going at it for 5 full games, plus some OT ice.
Well, and then we get to see them at the regionals in 2 weeks again, regardless. So, okay, last prediction, over under 0.5 panes of glass in this series. Anybody want to touch that action?
I'll take the over. Every day of the week, I'm taking the over.
Please, no. We don't need any more late nights.
Listen, I start work at 4 a.m. I don't want it as much as the next guy, but I'm a man of facts.
Yeah. I joked, and there's going to be so many people there again. I took the picture last year from the one corner. People were like, is that really the Sixer? I'm like, yeah. Like, it's busy when Real puts 2 bartenders on. So I'm expecting that again this weekend. I'll be there tomorrow night, boys. Thanks for doing this, both of you. And we'll have to regroup. I don't know if it's during this series, but before regionals for sure. Thanks for taking time today, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
The voices of the AAA. Isn't it crazy how AAA midget hockey has come so far? We got play-by-play. It's great. They both do an awesome job. JD Haughton from the Moose Jaw AAA Warriors and Ardenn Lloyd from the Regina Pats Canadians. It starts tomorrow night at the Sixer. So now if you're looking for tickets for that thing, I think, I don't know, but I heard she's getting close to sold out. So walk up you could be, as my Baba would say, Schlachtrafu. ReginaPatCanadians.ca if you want. We got, what are the prices here? League finals. Tickets $10 in advance, $15 at the door. 10 in advance, 15 at the door. Go online, bombard them with questions, and maybe pick up a few for your friends that are not going to be able to do it. You can also pick up the West Regional ticket packages while there. $70 for all 7 games, or $20 each, or $25 for the final. So you might as well buy the 70 pack and be in the mixer for all of them. Looking forward to it. If you're a hockey fan and you didn't go to it last year, it's awesome. And the hockey is so good. They're so fast. They're so skilled. Moose Jaw's big, tough, mean. Pat Canadians, yeah, they just they buzz around the ice. It's going to be awesome. We're covering it here because we're the home of local sports in Saskatchewan. We're streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com, and we're on 620 CKRM.
Regina Pats hockey.
Partial breakaway, right side stops. He scores!
Then at Dunlop Ford, Regina Pats Hockey is back on your official voice of the Pats. 620 CKRM.
Tune into Puck Drop tonight at 7 when the Regina Pats take on the Brandon Wheat Kings at the Brandt Center.
Game day tickets are available now from the Pats box office. Don't miss a minute of the action. Listen on air or online at 620CKRM.com. Regina Pats Hockey.
You cut the grass, we'll cut the deal at Brandt Agriculture. Get 0% financing for 84 months, plus cash rebates and bonuses on select John Deere turf equipment. Save on compact utility tractors, riding lawnmowers, and utility vehicles. Get it from people who get it. Offer ends April 30th, 2026. Some restrictions may apply. See dealer for details.
Since 1949, Nelson Homes has been providing you one-stop shopping for ready-to-move homes, panelized packages, and on-site builds. Nelson Homes' team of authorized dealers all over Saskatchewan would be happy to help you turn your dream home into a reality. In the Fort Capella area, call Calvin at 99 Builders or call 1-800-661-6534 for more information. Nelson Homes, trusted quality and service since 1949.
Ever seen a cow in a toque or a sweater? You probably could. They're not fans of winter either. When it's freezing out, your herd still needs water. But good luck convincing them to trek half a mile through snowdrifts for a drink. That's where Keln Solar comes in. Their solar livestock watering systems let you drop a pump just about anywhere. No grid, no trenching, no drama. So let the cows stay cozy. You move the water. Keln Solar. They move water because your cows won't. Visit kelnsolar.com.
When you play Sports Select, you're part of more than the game. You're backing over 12,000 sport, culture, and recreation groups across Saskatchewan funded through Sask lotteries. So go ahead, make your picks at sportselect.com, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Every play is 100% legal, and every ticket supports your community. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus. Please play responsibly.
It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Steelcraft Doors Regina, made in Western Canada for Western Canadians.
Luther Gymnasium tonight, 7 p.m. Girls City Final basketball. The boldest at Miller, if it's anything like the boys last night, where Miller defeated Sheldon 71-70. You might want to be there. If not, go watch ice hockey. Regina Pats hosting the Brandon Wheat Kings. Pre-game show right here on 620 CKRM starting at 6:30. Moose Jaw, big game in Swift Current. They need that. And the other Saskatchewan teams, Prince Albert, needing points. And the Blades visit there. SJHL playoffs start tonight in Yorkton. The Money Men are in town, 7 p.m. Estevan at Flin Flon, 6:30 because they're on the weird Manitoba time. Melfort's at the Battleford Stars, 7:30. And Weyburn travels to Nipawin for 7 p.m. Women's World Curling Championships in Calgary. Australia, Canada. It was Canada 11-2. They improved to 9-2 record-wise. They take on Japan tonight. Sportscage.com poll today. Which SJHL team is most likely to pull off a first-round upset? Vote at sportscage.com. Braden Birnie's his name. He's a local kid from Weyburn, Saskatchewan. Nice little hockey career coming off Alaska Fairbanks, and then some pro. Dave Thomas had a chance to catch up with Braden.
We head out on the Western Pizza guest hotline. We're pleased to be joined by the pride of Weyburn, Saskatchewan, and the newest member of the Rapid City Rush of the ECHL. Braden, Birnie, welcome home, albeit virtually in here in Regina. What's your life been like the last little bit, sir?
Oh, Dave, yeah, it's been crazy. Kind of hard to explain briefly. It's been a little bit of everything. Obviously, end on a high note in Alaska there with the tournament win for the Independent Cup, and then getting on the move and heading back south to South Dakota. So it's been a whirlwind, but very fortunate for the path that I've been on recently. It's been awesome.
Now, as mentioned, hometown is Weyburn. You grew up playing minor hockey in Weyburn, went and played some U18 AAA with the Regina Pat Canadians, went with the Weyburn Red Wings over to the MJHL to wrap up your junior career. Then you go the NCAA route. You're up in Alaska, and now I say you're playing professional hockey. Let's maybe go with smaller chunks of time. If I rewind to the start of this month and I say, hey, congratulations, Braden, you're going to go ahead and score a goal with 1.1 second left to send a game to overtime and then assist on the cup-winning goal for your team in Alaska, and then you're going to sign an ECHL contract, what would you have told me just back on March 1st?
Oh, yeah. I don't think I'd probably believe you. It's kind of hard to believe when you say it like that, and it's happened so quick that I haven't really had time to think about it, to be honest. But I think when I do have some time to digest what's going on and how fortunate I've been to go through all this recently, I'll really appreciate it a little bit more. And I just know everybody back home too, and all teammates and friends and family have probably enjoyed it just as much as I have. So to be able to share with them and the recent success is amazing, and I guess that's why we do it. That's the beauty of sports, and I've been fortunate enough to been on quite the ride recently, so it's pretty cool.
Braden, Birnie, the Rapid City Rush of the ECHL are your new team. Wearing number 4, I'm not sure if you want to comment on that jersey number just yet, but you are an affiliate of the Calgary Flames. Tell me a little bit about what this professional experience is for you. Is it purely an opportunity to prove to others what you can continue to do?
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. It's pretty cool to hear that I'm a part of the Calgary Flames organization. I got lots of friends and family that are big Flames fans, so to be able to go home at the end of the year and share this experience with them and share the pictures and whatnot with them is pretty cool. So I think part of it is I would be remiss probably if I didn't take this opportunity and be able to say that I played pro hockey, and not that it's the end for me, but it's a cool step. And I always said that I wanted to try and make some money playing hockey at some point in my life. So I can check that one off and see where it'll go. And it's been pretty cool so far to share with everybody.
Tell me about that experience then in Alaska. It's a long way from Weyburn, Saskatchewan, or Steinbach, Manitoba, and I can't imagine how intense it would be becoming a student athlete after maybe you hadn't attended a lot of school during your junior hockey days.
Yeah, it's an adjustment for sure. Nerves. I talked about nerves earlier. There was a ton of nerves going into that. I mean, obviously it's a super high level of hockey that you're adjusting to, and the school was not easy to start with either after taking 3 years off. So it was hard to manage at the beginning for sure. I feel like it was a little bit easier living on campus my first year, being around there, getting to meet people, getting to know people, practicing every day. It's intense practices, and going to 3 different in-person classes every week was a little bit different too. So I think as time went along, it got a little bit easier, and kind of getting thrown right into the fire was good for me. And I think that as I went along, I became more comfortable with it and learned how to have a good routine, and that was good for me.
Do you reflect on your journey at all, or is it too soon? You're still going down the path, right? Like, just thinking about where you started in Weyburn to the places in the U.S. that you were competing most recently in the NCAA, to maybe hearing the American national anthem before your first pro start this past weekend.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'll be able to. My dad always says he's going to write a good book one day, but I might have to have a chapter or two in that one too, because definitely seen some places and got a lot of stories to tell. So been a little bit everywhere, and I think that's a cool part of Alaska. You travel so much, and with the independent schedule, you see so many different places and play so many different teams every year. So gonna have to go through one day and check off all the different states that I've been to, because they're definitely piling up now for sure.
I know your parents and brother are very proud of you, Braden, Birnie. What else, or who else would you highlight if you could make the phone call on us, as it were, right now, about there's a lot of people that are cheering you on in southeastern Saskatchewan right now?
Oh, totally. I mean, there's a long list of people that have been a part of my journey and my development, and so many people that I'm lucky enough to share this with. And I know just the number of texts that I've got over the last week or so, or my parents have got texts from people, and just people checking in, watching the games, following along. Different coaches from the past, and just the city of Weyburn in general. I'm proud to call that place home, and so many amazing people there that still keep tabs with and love going back there. And I guess obviously my grandparents, who I don't think have missed a game, and my girlfriend as well, who's been a big part of the journey as well. There's just so many people to thank, and just doing my best to make them proud every day and give them some entertainment on the weekends, watching our games from their coaches, hopefully.
Okay, I promised hard questions. Who's the best golfer in the Birnie family, and does Dad still drag the ball out of the trees when he overshoots the green on the 7th hole in Weyburn?
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it's definitely him. I wish I could say differently, but yeah, it's always been him, and it probably always will be, but one of these days I'll get him. But number 7, that's awesome.
There was a few rounds played there. Braden, congratulations on your success. It is very incredible. I think it's probably the best adjective that I have when we followed your career. And like I said, I got to be on the ground floor for a bit of it, and now seeing you in the pro ranks with the ECHL and the Rapid City Rush is very, very cool. Congratulations, continued success, and just keep going.
Thank you so much. I should add in quick, too. I really enjoyed listening to all the Rider games up in Alaska. I listened to every game on the radio, so I loved hearing you on there, and it was a special year, so just thought I'd throw that in there, too.
Hey, I appreciate that. That's awesome stuff.
Thank you so much, Dave.
Rapid City Rush forward, Braden Birnie, of course, hometown Weyburn, Saskatchewan, joining us on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline here on the Sports Cage. We're going to take a break and come back with more. This is the Sports Cage on 620 CKRM and streaming at sportscage.com.
Is Saskatchewan better off under Mark Carney? He still won't approve a pipeline or remove Trudeau's anti-development laws. Deficits are bigger than ever. Inflation is pushing grocery prices through the roof, and Carney refuses to repeal Liberal bail that sets criminals free. Conservatives are fighting to unblock our natural resources, get steelworkers their jobs back by approving pipelines, and make our communities safer. It's clear, only Conservative MPs are always on Saskatchewan's side. This message brought to you by Andrew Scheer, MP for Regina Capel.
That garage door has seen better days. After a long winter, it's grinding, struggling, and barely getting you into spring. And right